Yes, sweet Mother Moses. No, I'm not going to play the intro. Screw that! Because it's only me, and therefore I can say wild and crazy things today. Wait a minute, why is this not on? There we go. That's the audio, by the way. No, the reason I'm not late for once is because I'm the one who put it late. The reason they put it late is because I went, there is no way on earth I'm going to get it right at 8:30. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? No, I'm not saying that word. What is with you guys in the obsession of that word? I'm not going to say it. Yeah, the ghost of Aiden. Oh god. Oh, speaking of technical difficulties, okay, I don't normally rant about shit, but I'm gonna do that now. The security mechanism for this website can eat a dick, right? I'll tell you why. Because the way that Aiden and I have set up the Broken Crown channel is that she has the controls for the channel on her side, and I do the OBS. So what happens is, I stream with OBS, and then I press stream, and then on the actual YouTube account, she's the one who makes a stream, and then as soon as the OBS connects with the account, she can press live, and then the stream kicks in. Alright, and there's Aiden in the chat now. In this stupid thing, because I had to log into the Broken Crown account, it asks for a verification, which is naturally Aiden's phone. So as soon as I log in, and I go to the live system, it just says like, oh, we have to verify you. And I'm like, dude, you just verified me using Aiden's phone, and now you're asking me for verification again using the very same phone that I choose to get into this bloody account to begin with. Why are you asking me to verify twice with the same freaking security mechanism, you asshole? What is the freaking point? Oh, I hate security. Monkey ass. And yes, that's the only thing I had to get off my chest. What is the point? Yes, I understand security, but you're asking me the same mechanism. If I had access to the one, I can just do it again. Yeah, verification code 1. Yes, 2 minutes later. Verification 2. It's the same freaking phone, you twat. Oh, heaven's sakes. Pissing me the hell off. No, I don't usually rant. Not by starting off anyway, no. Google wants to make super sure they know your location. Yeah, fucking tell me about it. Oh, God, that's probably not even a joke. It's true. You know what's really stupid, though? Is this is something you can do. If you log in using that mechanism, and you'd use a verification system, you can choose a different email and still verify, but the second you try and do anything, it locks. So let me get this straight. I can use a different email as a verification system to log into an account that I wasn't supposed to be in the first place. How does that make... I swear to God. Have I thought about getting a bigger chest? No, because I have balls. I'm assuming you mean like implant-wise and not ones that I can literally put on my chest. I have testicles, so chest is not... The only time I ever grow chest is through dipping. To the British Empire, and I thank wholeheartedly for civilizing the world. Thank you for Binary Eclipse, and yes, I also say thank you to the British Empire. Although I still prefer the German one. Just because I have English people in the chat and it will annoy them, and there's German people in the chat and that will impress them. Because it's funnier that way. Layers of defense. It's not layers of defense, it's layers of fucking irritation. Yeah, chesticles indeed. Yeah, I'm going solo today. Aiden's in the chat, which makes me think wherever she is, she must be bored of her tits. Is this true, Aiden? Are you still in the chat? It's really weird seeing two chats updated at the exact same time. It's kind of trippy. I'm a tiny Chinese woman. Man, if I'm a tiny Chinese woman, God really fuck with my vocal cords. Gave me tiny Asian woman form and a base black dude's vocal cords. God damn, it's fucked up. Wait a minute, does that mean I'm transracial? I have oppression points now. I have a sizable chunk of whiskey, so if my words get slurry, that would be the reason why. And yes, believe it or not, this is what my voice sounds like when I'm normal. This is what my voice sounds like when I'm not yelling. Or when a bleach blonde is not interrupting me every 30 seconds. No offense, Aiden. Thoughts on the Transformers franchise? I actually, this is maybe gonna piss off a lot of people. I've never actually watched any of the Transformers franchise. I haven't watched any new movies since like, hold on, new movies that I've watched in the last like decade. Top Gun Maverick, Ford versus Ferrari, Upgraded. Inception, Batman trilogy, and I have a hard time mentioning anything past that. There's nothing that I've watched in like 10 years now that's worth a shit. That's God's honest truth. Yeah, you aren't missing anything. Yeah, in case in point. It's just complete bollocks. Yeah, can someone tell me what is the thing with the stopgate kerfuffle? Because I've seen videos on it, but I haven't clicked on it. I just saw notifications and I thought, what's Sargon done now? Who did he piss off today? Stopgate kerfuffle. I like the language of that. Spoon, why Island? Because I was 11 years old when my parents moved, and you don't really have a lot to say at 11 years old. You can't say, no, we have to stay here. Because of my reasons. It's not how that works. Oh, Sargon doesn't like Mexican food. Oh, that, yeah. Yeah. This was the offense of the British cuisine thing. Okay, look, here's the thing. In Sargon's defense, I don't know about Mexican food, but I have been to America, and this is just my interpretation of the situation. You guys don't know what good food tastes like. I'm sure I'm going to piss off Americans. That's kind of my goal here. There's a certain... like, your flavor lacks a certain... intensity. A certain saturation. A certain oomph. Like, I can understand why you people need to eat so much food, because that's why you need to get any fucking flavor, because there isn't any. I'm a full-grown man, I can choose where I live. Yes, at 18 I probably could, but at 11, not so much. 11 years old, you kind of tend to go where your parents go. That's kind of the case. Plus, I don't think at 18 years old I went, I'm going to go back to South Africa. Says the Brit Bong. Yes. The Brit Bong comes from South Africa, where we have better food than both America and England, so suck it. Where did I enjoy my cuisine? Okay, I've been around the world. I've been through 3 continents, so... I'd say probably the best seafood I had was in Canada, which was bizarre. This is in Toronto. This is going to be like sacrilege to admit, but probably the best chicken I had was there as well. Which, considering my country's known for meat, it's like shame on my nation. Best beef will always be back home. Like, I don't care what any Americans, you Texas, you can fuck off. I will take your Texan barbecue versus our braai any day of the week, and we will kill you because we're better than you. It's just a fact. We're known for meat. We will rival no one else. We are the best. Suck it. Ireland does have very good beef as well. You know, it's grass-fed. Same with Scotland. Oh, and also known for the whiskey, so yeah, there we go. Best book, I think I would still go back home for that. Of course, we have to mention food. You know what the best game is? Ostrich. You've not lived till you've had ostrich. Ostrich just, oh my god, ostrich just oh. Ostrich is the best meat ever. If someone could say to me you can never eat beef again, only ostrich, I think I would probably take that. It is fantastic, it really is. Alberto beef. Look, I have no problem throwing down. If someone can say to me, you got better beef than my country, then feel free. Everyone just gets to eat meat. I mean, everyone involves a winner, even if you lose. There's no such thing as bad chicken or bad steak. Unless prepared by woman. There's no females in the chat, so I can say whatever the hell I damn well wish right now. Oh god, yeah, ostrich egg. Ostrich egg is something magnificent. I think there's something like 12 eggs in one ostrich egg. I remember in South Africa, when you get an ostrich egg, you used to get like a giant, it looks like a wok skillet that you would get, and it has like a gas tank at the bottom that powers it, so there's a flame, and you would basically just grill outside, because, you know, it's Africa, and they would crack an egg on the side into this thing, and it's just a moesegroot, that means a shitload in Afrikaans, into the thing, and used to cook that. You could feel like a whole family with that friggin' thing. It was enormous. I don't know where the hell you would get an ostrich egg these days. Have I seen videos of black women washing chicken with soap? I have. And whenever they say that white people don't know how to season food, I just look at that and go, yep, you are not allowed to talk about seasoning ever again. When you wash with water, not with soap. Crazy ass mad people. You grow ostriches in ranches. Yeah, I don't think that they're hunted wild for game. Yeah, I imagine some in Australia probably do. No. I just thought, I said Hasselhopper for $5. Thank you very much, Hasselhopper. I just thought it was funny that Sargon sees Mexican food as slob because it's mixed together. It's the same token most Italian food is also slop or beef stew. Yeah, Cecilia, I'm the only one running. Aiden is in the chat though. I bet you Aiden is sitting like, I'm hoping to say some shit that makes Aiden like really pissed the fuck off. Spoon thoughts on Chris Raygun and some black guy heels versus babyface. Oh god, yes. Okay, that's something that I can talk about. So I looked at the sort of Hassan's one is sort of the main one that, and I think Grubbs was the other one where the sort of the two videos like really kicked off and went viral. And as I scrolled through some of the comments, I didn't really see one that made. Oh no, American Whiskey is fantastic. But I didn't see anyone that was really that outrageous. It was more just, okay, you're just kind of cringe and stupid. But not one that would really rattle my ire. And then I looked at Chris Raygun, some black guy, and Jeff Holiday, who all three of them have gone full retard. Because I looked at them, like Chris Raygun openly said someone should kill themselves with a gun. That was rather bizarre. Jeff Holiday called somebody an incel, and you know, in 2023, when you want to be edgy, you call somebody an incel. That's really some top shelf stuff there, Jeff. And some black guy couldn't understand what Az was saying, and I just sat there. I literally said this in my video yesterday. He says in the first like 53 seconds of the thing, so you can fucking current day us. Okay, so he's telling you the thing that is driving him insane. The pronouns is just the manifestation of this thing that is driving him insane. I don't understand how the hell you can't understand that. And then to just say, oh no, it's only pronouns. Like, that's the kind of shit that I look at and go, okay, you have sort of intellectual short-sightedness that you can't see where this is going to go. Like, have you not seen life for like the last 120 years in the Western world? Do you not see women's rights, civil rights, the destruction of society and the family, and the increasingly gay shit in everything? Do you not? Where do you think this comes from, Chris? Some black guy, Jeff. Where do you think this just comes out of your ass? It's just like absolute fucking idiots. And yes, I am doing a video on that tomorrow. I actually have the script ready to go. I just thought, I got 2 videos today. I might do 3 tomorrow. Because I saw that and I just thought, Jesus Christ, these people be like intellectual nitwits. Those are the kind of people that you see and you go, don't listen to them. Like, if you follow either of those 3 people, unsubscribe and stop watching them. They're stupid people. Just nitwits. Andy Wolski's base. I haven't seen Andy, and Andy's on a different site now, isn't he? What's the site that he's on? Someone tell me, because I know Andy streams on a different site now. I don't know if YouTube kicked him off or whatever. But yeah, congratulations for saying he doesn't bother with Chris Reagan anymore, because Chris is fucking ass these days. Yes, Harry was roasting some black guy. Yeah, that's... Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up here. Give me a moment. Because I had... Talk amongst ourselves for a moment. Let me just see if I can pull it up here. It's some black guy, Chris Reagan. Let me see if I can share screen here. I need more screen. I have 2 screens in front of me, and they're huge. I have one is 39, another's 40, one is 4K, one is like 1080p, and I'm still running out of room. Like, give me more. I'm running out of desk here. I need a bigger desk, more than 2 meters wide than it already is. Give me a second. Make this smaller. Let's see if I can screen share here. I don't have a screen caption already. No, it didn't. I used to have one. Up until Aiden told me I can't stream my screen anymore. I don't know if she said that. I'm just gonna blame it on her. Let's see what we have here. Go away, YouTube. Stop telling me to do shit. Dear OBS update. Yeah, there we go. See, look, there it says it again. I'm saying you guys are like Anita Sarkeesian now for calling everything woke. Just like she called everything sexist. Reading is hard, I guess. Listen, you jackass. This is not the same thing. Anita Sarkeesian's gimmick was, I am going to somehow involve myself into shit that no one's freaking asking for by injecting my dumbass politics into shit. That is not what Az is doing. He is saying, I see the injection of crap into my freaking games, piss off. How you can say it's the same thing? Like, she is an activist, and as sorry, as in every other person playing the game, is the thing that is being exposed to the bullshit that the activists are peddling. How on earth do you think, as an Anita Sarkeesian or anyone else complaining about this shit, is the same thing? We're not trying to get something into games, we're trying to pull something away from the freaking games. How, again, do you not see this, you daft gits? Freaking imbeciles, man, I swear to God. These are very, very stupid people. Honestly, I don't like calling people stupid all the time. Like, yes, it is easy and it is fun, but after a while, I'm like, can you please give me something intellectual? Yeah, I did think I was gonna rumble this, because I couldn't get Aiden's help until like 5 minutes before the stream went live. Because I had to like nag and call Aiden over and over again to get the stupid verification thing just so I can turn the bloody stream on. Sorry about that, Aiden, but you know, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm terribly sorry I have to hassle you for a freaking phone. Just literally, oh God, I hate phones. Yeah, completely broke immersion. Like, I hate this argument of like, oh, it's only pronouns. Like, bitch, if it's pronouns in a space game and in freaking Baldur's Gate and literally every bloody thing, and these games are all worlds apart, then you damn well know this is being shoved in because it's politics of the current freaking day, just like as said. Why? Why is it only some people are smart and they can understand this, and we have so many nitwit jackasses who can't seem to understand that this is not going to stop with just the pronouns? Like, the pronouns is just the fucking initial step, and then it's going to be some other stupid shit. Like, you've already seen this with crap freaking bollock characters in so many games. Like, someone explained to me, how the hell do the characters of Mass Andromeda look? How do they look versus, say, Mass Effect 2? Which one looks better? There's like a freaking 10-year difference between the two. One is shit, one is not. Wonder why that is. Also, Jack is better than Miranda. Fight me. I'm calling it now. By the way, this is just me ranting, by the way. Starfield is a game released by Bethesda. Yeah. I can understand, as is here tonight, that, yeah, good. He deserves his moment of spotlight. But the thing of it is, if you look at as what he said, yeah, I actually quite liked, I quite liked Inquisition as far as the gameplay goes. Oh, really lamented guy who's better. Yeah, okay, yeah, Miranda's voice is sexy, but she's very bland as a character. You know, it's like, oh, I've been made to be perfect, but I'm upset that I have all the things that make me fantastic. It's like, how do you not use them for good purposes? Like, it's fucking like Dostoevsky. Is that line of, oh, if you just give people everything they want and all they have to do is eat cake and continue the species, they would smash shit up. And say, yeah, that's Miranda's personality to a T. I've been designed to be perfect, and yet I'm complaining about it. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, woman. You would think if you can kick ass and you look great doing it, like you would have no wants in the world, but no, you still complain. Like, fucking lefty fucking tactic. Fucking terrible. I did like her powers, though. She was actually like a strong character. Although the best character to play with was still Garrus, because Garrus' long-range weaponry was just like fucking nuts. You spec him right, he could fucking kill everything. I usually played with him and I like the Professor. Morden. He was actually handy. He had good fire attacks. But Jack had strong-ass bionic powers. Same with who oh fuck, who was the oh, this is gonna fucking bug me now, that the fact that I can't remember the characters. Let me give me a second. I feel ashamed that I haven't played Mass Effect in so friggin' long. Samara, yeah, there we go. I never played with Morinth because her arrogance made me want to kill her. And why does Aiden have no audio? Because Aiden is not here. Yes. When is a new Dragon Age game coming out? Is a new Dragon Age game coming out? No, not Morinth. I never played as her. Because you know when she's trying to seduce you and she gets like really uppity and thinks that she can just have you... I hated the fact that you needed like an insanely high renegade or paragon to kick her ass. Because when she gets cocky, I'm like, I want to wreck you. Like, I want to just kick your ass so badly. But the game just says, no, you need an absurdly high level. You need an absurdly high freaking paragon or renegade just to stop freaking, what's his fault? Jack and Miranda from killing each other. Meanwhile, one of the chairs looks like a toilet in the scene where you just throw them all. No, Aiden is in the chat, so I can't say gamer words. If Aiden leaves, I will say gamer words. And no, that is not an excuse to get Aiden to leave, just so I can start swearing. Before the chat gets any ideas. I feel like Aiden is basically like a chaperone on the stream. Like, keeping an eye on me, just so I don't say anything too far friggin' edgy. Oh, it's been announced? Really? Let me see. Let me see this. Oh, it's been announced in friggin' May already. Oh, God. My God, there's no adverts. Holy shit. Everything we know about the next RPG in Thedas. Let's see all the Dreadwolf hints we collect the story setting and characters. It's been a long wait since Inquisition, but Dragon Age Dreadwolf is bringing the band back together. Well, some of it anyway. At some point, after spending years doing everything but acknowledging the next sequel, BioWare dropped the coy act confirming that a fourth game was in development. Our time in Thedas isn't over yet. We've got a name, hard Dreadwolf details are still hard to come by. We know it's going to be a single-player focused experience, thank fuck for that. With BioWare abandoning an earlier multiplayer incarnation, why the hell would you... Of course, because you greedy pricks. Even in the era of service games, Anthem's collapse still looms large over EA's efforts, while we patiently wait for a compelling, proper unveiling. Here is everything we know about the Dragon Age story, possible release dates, trailers, characters, and more. It's sometime in April 2024. Okay, so next year. Until the back half of the 2024 at the earliest. Well, there's already woke crap in the last freaking one, so I doubt they would just scrub it now. And bloody hell, it already ruined... I think most people don't even like Dragon Age 2. Which I feel is kind of unfair. Like, V said earlier in his live stream that the combat system for 2 was shit. And, yeah, I kind of agree. I wasn't exactly a fan of the second one's combat system. Bloody hell, okay, it does... Oh, this is the capital of Tevinter Imperium. Can we make it bigger? Yes, we can. I do like it, and the lights are a bit kind of strange. It's like if there's a bit of cyberpunk in this, with the unusual light casting. It does look very aggressively evil, isn't it? With all the sharp, spiky bits. Very gothic-like. Despite the lights, the place still looks kind of haunted. Although I don't mind that. It is Tevinter, after all. Tevinter is it's not exactly Orlais. It's not exactly Val Royale. This looks like a cool aesthetic, though. I doubt we will see Dorian in this one, though. Although I did like his smarminess, despite the fact that he was gay as hell. I don't see any pride flags. Oh god, don't give them ideas. You fucking... Oh god. You do realize if you see one pride flag anywhere, people will just screech and call it woke. Because you know that's what it's there for. It's virtue signaling shite. Let's see here. 2019 report. Development. A story called The Devinters Nights from 2020. BioWare finally confirmed in their huge studio history book BioWare stories from 25 years of game development. Yes, how we got cringe and gay went woke. Devinters yet to appear in Dragon Age game properly, though my country run by mages is often mentioned, and we've had several party members from up north a glimpse of Devinter capital Mentraios we saw in 2020. It was teased an almost cyberpunk feel. Oh, see, there we go. Cyberpunk filter with a colorful urban nighttime and floating central segment. Good. Glad I'm not the only one who thinks that. It is possible that Inquisition Dreadwolf will not be set in just one country, but will other visit nations as well. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Although I didn't really mind Inquisition's traveling system. Although I still think the first Dragon Age was the best one. Because the music kicked fucking ass, let's be real. Among the small sections of artwork chosen for the pages are the Necropolis Navara and the Antivan Crow Assassin, suggesting that we could be visiting both locations as part of the story. Oh, and the Deep Roads too. Yes, because there's nothing we like more than to go underground and kick the shit out of everything that doesn't have a pulse. We're probably not escaping a Dragon Age game without visiting it underground. Yeah, that seems to be the case these days. It's basically like the guaranteed thing we need. Well, I mean, it's Dragon Age. It's kind of the whole point. It's mandatory for every bloody game. Missing details about Dragon Age. It's still very hush-hush. Okay, so we basically have Tevinter. Or a screenshot of Tevinter. We don't really have much else to go on. Being a systemic narrative mechanics allowing the player to perform actions like persuading or extorting guards without the writers having to handcraft every scene. The goal was to focus as much as possible on choice and consequences with smaller areas, fewer fetch quests in Dragon Age Inquisition. I didn't really mind the fetch quests in Dragon Age Inquisition, to be honest. I didn't really mind the questing system in Dragon Age Inquisition at all. I don't really have anything against the game, aside from the Outta 2 woke shite, but I quite like the story, actually. And I quite like being the Knight Enchanter, just because you could kick the shit out of everything. How do you compare Dragon Age to TES? Should I know what TES is? Why does it sound familiar? Yeah, to be fair, I don't really care about modern games either. But, you know, it's like... Oh, the Elder Scrolls, sorry. Okay, I'm going to say something that is likely going to piss off people in the chat. Well, not if you have any sense. Skyrim is overrated, Oblivion was better. There, I said it. When I finished Skyrim, I thought, this was it? That was it? That was the whole game? Like, I don't know why... But there was something, despite the fact that it was more alive than Oblivion, there's a certain lifelessness to Skyrim that I didn't like. And I don't know why. No, there's a bunch of people who agree with that. They're just cringe. It's because, you know, when you played the guild quests, there's basically a whole game in the guild quests, and I actually thought, in many ways, I thought the missions from the guild quests were better than the main story in Oblivion. I had more fun with them, and when I went into Skyrim, I was expecting the guild quest to be as good, and the guild quests weren't even as good as the main story in frickin' Oblivion, which was very depressing, and when I finished it, I just went, oh. And that's basically it. That is... Yeah, it's just me, Abby. It was very depressing. Like, I waited ages for Skyrim to come out, and then when I played it, I just thought, ew. This game is really, really short. Like, you substituted gameplay and story for it looks shiny, and you can craft armor. Like, who gives a fuck? I mean, I like the Daedra armor. It does look cool and everything. And I do like smacking the shit out of most things with just one shot. And it's fun and all, but... I don't know, it just... There was nothing as epic as the Grey Cowl in Skyrim. And that's why it was, yeah, Skyrim is a 3-inch deep ocean. That's, yeah, Dev is right. That is very much the case. And that's why it was so shit. It wasn't very long. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of modern games, so... This is the thing, if you are charging me that amount of money for a freaking game, and then I have to mod the shit out of it with extra content that wasn't even made by the developers, like, why the hell am I paying you, like, upwards of €70? Fuck off. Like, if you're gonna make me pay that amount of money... Yeah, the Grey Fox, yeah, the Grey Cow. Because if you're gonna make me pay that amount of money, and I need to get additional content that wasn't even made by you, then fuck off, you're not worthy of 70 quid. Very simple. Miss Shivering Ass. Ah, yes. Sheergoreth, the mad one. I like his accent. I could probably do it, actually. No, I'm not going to do it now. Bloody hell. Dreadwolf will be a story about having no power. Okay, I don't know. What happens when you don't have power? Well, that's basically real life. That's why we play fantasy games. What happens when the people in charge aren't willing to address the issues? Oh, yeah, so that's basically like real life. That's basically what we live in right now. Goodness, now that we know the game will be into winter and starting to make a lot more sense. From the sounds of it, Bioware, like, yeah, fucking hell. We don't like modern day shit, but we're just gonna make a story based on modern day politics. Ah, fucking Jesus Christ. From the sounds of it, Bioware is aiming at the story and the characters to feel a little less important to the world than an Inquisition, at least at first. Dragon Age games have typically followed the rise of a seemingly inconsequential hero to a position of power, though it almost sounds as if Dreadwolf will follow a character who never breaks into Thetis' traditional power structures. So you're basically someone who's gone rogue. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of does interest me. So you don't basically play within the political structure. You basically are just crazy person. Let's see who else. Oh, Varric. Oh, of course, Varric is fucking everywhere. How do you like him? The Grey Warden hooked with an ability to play cameo. Wait, you can play the Grey Warden as a cameo in Dragon Age Inquisition? Where's that? I know you can have Hawk. I never thought you could have the Grey Warden. Unless you mean Grey Wardens, in which case, yes, that makes sense. But Grey Warden, I don't mean your one, is it? Not as far as I'm aware, anyway. Flemeth, ah yes, Morgan's mother. Who turns into a dragon and tries to kill you. It's good we have Morgan back, I'm a fan of her. It's an empowerment story. Oh god, please don't say that. Yeah, that's true, Elemental Guy, because you don't really have any power in the first one. Well, at least not in, like, the sort of, you know, traditional sense, because, yes, you are of noble birth, but you're essentially selected for the joining. But that's pretty much where your power structure goes. You don't get into the sort of political structure unless you marry Nora. And even then, I didn't want to marry Nora because she was hell-bent on power. No, it's not a gaming stream, but somebody asked me, what's Dragon Age Dreadwolf? Because I knew there was going to be a follow-up, I just didn't know it would be this, I was going to say this soon, but fucking hell. When was Inquisition, like, hold on, let me see. I have Inquisition in a folder. Which I definitely got legitimately. When did I get this? This is in 2015. God damn, this is 2015. This is like 7 years old already? Holy shit. No way. Let me see. This was in 2014. Fuck me. It's almost 10 years old? What? God damn. What do you mean the stream has been derailed? No, it hasn't, Aiden. There was no setup for the stream to begin with. So therefore it can't be derailed. That is my story and I'm sticking to it. Bloody hell, it's been 10 years. I didn't even know the game was freaking 10 years ago. And yeah, Aiden, Lamented Guy has a point. Our streams are never ever... They don't have... Like, you have like 50 freaking things that we never get through. Let me gush about Dragon Age. No, I will say I liked the first one, the best one. Just because the music and atmosphere was good. And okay, I'll tell you what made the first one the best for me, and I'll tell you why. When you had AoE spells, they infected everybody. Not infected, sorry, affected everybody. And for some reason, when this one was gone, that kind of pissed me off. It made the game easier in a way that I didn't like. I liked the fact that in the first one, you actually had to think. Everything has happened yesterday or 20... Oh god, yeah, that does really feel like lifetime nowadays. Yes, like, Aiden, why are you here when you're surrounded by people you've been waiting for how many years to see now? Am I that interesting? I mean, thank you, but still. Unless you have, like, a headphone and this is in one of your ears. See, you actually with the friggin' sleeping emojis. Don't make me read something. I could probably make the chat fall asleep if I did read something. Oh, you could infect them. I don't know. Did damage over time effects work with the AoEs? I don't actually know now, come to think of it. Could somebody tell me, somebody in the chat, if you did a DOT spell effect, did it affect allies as well? I don't even remember any like damage over time AoE effects, and this was like something in the fire tree. Aiden has something called loyalty? What the hell? Like, Aiden doesn't need to be here. I think she's just keeping an eye on me. Just say if I say something inappropriate, she's gonna yell at me. Read your damn super chats. Okay, fine. Just out and party. Jesus Christ, hold on. To encourage you to call more hoes dozy bins. I probably have to be careful, considering how many people I call dozy bins as it is. I don't think it's something that I could just do. My god. Dude, I could literally devote a YouTube channel just taking the piss out of women. I don't think I could monetize it, though. Was Morrigan my favorite character in Dragon Age Origins? Yes, absolutely. Because she was sexy and sassy. She doesn't have audio. What do you mean she doesn't have audio? So she's just staring at the chat? Aiden, that's depressing. Talk to real people. That's, yeah, for the Kaiser. Yeah, there we go. Hello says, yes, big brain content. Greetings to you too, sir. Spoon going his own way. I've always been going my own way. I've been going my own way for friggin' years. I had to. It's the only way to fly. Much like being on mescaline. And sometimes we just have to say crazy shit. Yeah. I think it's not like we don't really need any mods. We don't really get any people acting out in our chat. Everyone is fairly civilized, actually. Do I support MGTOW? No, not really. I mean, I can understand why guys want to get away from modern day women, because modern day women are cringe and gay. Some of them quite literally. No, it's more just a case that it's okay. Okay, here's what men need to do. Men need to tell women to shut the fuck up once in a while and to stop looking for the attention of women by trying to appeal to them. That's something that you should never do. Right? Don't try to appeal to women by listening to what they say. You should do what the hell you want, and women should be attracted to you. Okay, when I said the chat doesn't get out of line, that was not an invitation for you people to start saying gamer words in the chat. Coach Reptile Fiasco. He's been released, hasn't he? I did see him. I did see he was arrested, and he made a video a couple of days ago. The Passport Bros. Oh, they're kind of cringe, aren't they? But the Passport Bros aren't nothing new. Remember a couple of years ago you had the whole Russian bride thing? That was a thing. So I don't know how is this any different. It's the same thing, different fucking name. Women are the worst for giving advice about women. Oh god, yes, that is absolutely true. Never listen to women if you want to get the attention of other women. Because it's like listening to the competition. They're not going to tell you. Like, they will probably say some shit to sabotage you so they can look at themselves favorably. He was executed. What? No, he wasn't. By who? What, firing squad? Sorry, where is... Elder Ghost, where the hell did you get the execution thing from? That's bollocks. Oh, I have to look this up now. the hell said he was executed? Where the hell did you get this shit? He was not. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, citation needed. Yeah, I'm very much curious as to that. Yeah, I'm looking that up as well. I can't find anything. Although it's not like I'm expecting to see like, yes, he was iced by fucking hell. His head was put on a pike in front of Starbucks in Kiev. No, it wasn't. Where, Eldegusta, where the hell are you reading this shit? Jeff Holiday from anti-SOW to Antifa Goon. To be fair, he does look like one. Like, if you look at his face and his friggin' hairstyle, he looks like someone that would be... He looks like someone that needs a shower. I don't mean that too offensively, but he did totally does. He looks like a filthy fucking hippie, though. Sorry about that. Musk is suing the ADL. Oh god, yes. Based South African man. Yeah, it's not different from the Russian bride thing. I mean, why the hell would you bother with a Western woman at this point? Like, have you seen the way that like Russian Ukrainian women look? Like, god damn. God likes the white people, and especially the Russians and Ukrainians. I don't know why, but Eastern European women are just... It's beautiful. I don't know why. And then again, every region is pretty women. Personally, I like Arabian women. Arabs and Asian. If I was gonna go for a European, I'll go for a Southern European. Not Western. Fuck that. Yeah, Gonzalo. Apparently he was killed. His head was slammed on a pike in front of a Starbucks in Kiev. I don't believe that for a second, by the way. Oh, he literally promotes Antifa? That's why? Why? God damn, Jeff. I don't know, Danger Switch. Elder Gusto says he's like, I don't. Dangerously Italian. No, I don't have a... My penis does not have a prejudice... Well, you know, it does have prejudice. I tend to stick with the whiter the brighter. Usually. But I like tanned. Yeah, the ADL is full of filthy commies. And for obvious reasons, I can't make the jokes that I would like to make. Because my jokes would get the channel demonetized and possibly banned. And considering Aiden is in the chat, I have to be careful of my language. I think even on Rumble, the shit that I want to say is probably a bit taboo. I'm not saying I would go full Austrian dictator, by the way, but his name would come up if only for comedic effect. And that should give you an indication of where my jokes would probably go. No Orientals? No. I mean, Korean, Japanese. Okay, maybe Chinese, not so much. I don't trust commies. But, yeah, Vietnamese, Taiwanese, who cares? Koreans kind of smell. Okay, yeah, but here's the thing. I don't mind the hygiene. Hygiene you can change. Koreans may smell funny, but Western women think funny. One is a hell of a lot harder to change than the other. One I can change with a shower, the other one I have to change with a hammer. Make of that joke what you will, huh? Sorry, Aiden. Wait, Aiden can't hear, so that I can say a lot of shit. Spoon, who's more of a dumbass amazing atheist or Jeff Holiday? Oh, God. Oh, God. Who's worse, amazing atheist or Jeff Holiday? There's like a certain element of cringe that makes Jeff Holiday for some reason worse. Amazing atheists, I've never thought as smart anyway. I just kind of him as a dumbass. But it's the people who think they're smart and say dumb shit that makes me more irritated. And I would probably say Jeff for that particular reason, but for the most part, yeah. Yeah, Japanese women are pretty. This is really, I think it's in Japan or Korea, they have a really high rate of plastic surgery, though. Really? The chat saying TJ? TJ's worse? Can I make up a poll? No, I can't. Oh, okay, no, I can't make up a poll. Hold on. Who's more insufferable? TJ? Jeff Holiday. There you go. Who's worse? I'm saying Jeff. That's my personal take. TJ is a fucking insert many words. It's not just one word. Oh, he's fucking terrible, isn't it? Is it which career? Senior sont. Great word, by the way. Need help making an argument why YouTubers are better than Newsroom. Last couple of years, I can't raise an article or study if a non-MSN media supplied it. I'm usually confronting family members. Why YouTubers better than the Newsroom? Maybe ask them first, why do they think the Newsroom is better than YouTubers? And if they give you any argument aside from, well, they are official, then you should know you're talking. Okay, no offense to your family members, but they're kind of brain dead. Because I don't listen to the news. The main thing for me is, if you look at the news, they're the least trusted people in the Western news. America right now is the least trusted freaking news in the entire world. Why the hell would I go near you if you're the least trusted media in the entire fucking world? That doesn't make any bloody sense. It's fucking manners, isn't it? Reagan is now skinny Jarbo. Oh, God. Oh, okay, that's probably true. It's kind of weird that I get into YouTube at this point in time, because in 2015, 2016, I watched a lot of these guys. And it's kind of weird now that, hey, look, I used to watch you like 5 years ago, and now I'm going to make content slandering you because you're being fucking morons. But I stand by my statement, and I will keep making it. Because they are complete imbeciles. BBC would like to rebuttal. BBC can fuck off. Brexit, bashing Brexit Corporation as... Oh yeah, the whole Kraut and Jeff. Okay, who else was involved in it? There was Kraut, there was Jeff, there was Andy, there was there's Chris Reagan, some black guy. Who else? Father Louis. I haven't seen Louis deleted his YouTube channel, which fucking pissed me the hell off. What about Indian women? Yeah or nay? If they can cook curry, yes. It's the Sam Cedar effect. Well, I'm going to make a video featuring his name tomorrow because he's the one that said the dumbest freaking thing that I've seen as far as the ass thing goes, and therefore I must slam him. I will say what's Harry's point on Twitter was very interesting and very true. He just said that you can see the ass thing is sort of who had any kind of political acumen and who were just like dipshit morons who basically just peddled the same stupid talking points, but they didn't actually know what they were saying. Because when the time came for actual political action and thought, the people that had sense went further right. The people who had no sense at all, they just essentially decayed and became irrelevant. Like some black guy and Jeff and all these people that are just dumbasses. Well, I mean, Chris Reagan at least can play the guitar and sing, so he's got like talent. He's got like an actual skill, but the rest of them, no, they're just complete shite. V got out of it pretty well. Same with Sargon. And Arch as well. Drinking piss and being happy his girlfriend gets plowed by random men. I got news for you. If you guys are happy with your woman getting plowed by random men, you're dating a whore. No sane man would ever get his woman plowed by other men and think that's fine. If you do, you're a cock and a kind of sad bastard. And you're a boy, because no man would ever tolerate that shit. Almond Skeptic did a good video recently about Hollywood is propagandizing people with woke agenda. Really, what gave it away? Well, Elder Ghostler, compared to the other two, he's talented. Give him that. I mean, some of his songs are funny. I will give him that. I may think his politics is complete wank, but he has said some things that made me laugh. I told you to consider slut. No, because to be a slut, you need to fuck other things. At least if you're a guy, anyway. A wise man once said, giving dick is like selling drugs, whereas taking dick is like doing drugs. And no one gives a crap about the dealer. The only people that get shit are the users. And in this case, women are the users. True. Women don't give a flying crap if a man has a high body count because they think that makes him decent in bed. A woman that has a high body count is like a scarred fucking drug addict. We can see the scars in new, gross. We would prefer a new car. Not one that's been plowed by several drivers. It's true, women can say whatever the hell they want, but it's just true. Since Norwegian was mentioned, what is your take on Arch as a YouTuber? Might you go on his art stream one day? Okay, this is something that people need to be aware of. Whenever you guys watch any YouTubers, you are aware that we don't know each other half the time. So like when you guys go into the comment section and say, you should talk to like X, Y, and Z because you watch both of them, the content creators don't know who the fuck these people are. So it's like you're organizing a play date. it's really weird. I do like Arch. I do quite like his style of delivery. It's very polished, and he can do it off the cuff. Whereas all my videos are scripted, you know. Because if I don't have a script in front of me, as you can tell, I tend to ramble and say wild shit. Because in order for me to think about jokes, I have to actually sit down and say some funny shit. I'll be honest, most of the time when I write videos, what I do is I will read an article out loud and then yell in real time. And if the joke is funny or spontaneous, then I'll put it in a script. Well, easy to do that way there. You guys aren't a hive mind. Yes, we are. But we're a hive mind in the sense that it's like a VPN. There's a connection there, but it's scrambled all over the fucking place. I mean, someone said to me I should go on one of Racket's stream as well. Raging Golden Eagle. Yeah, I have, actually. I think someone has recommended... someone recommended him in my comment section as well. Who else is there? Undead Chronic, I think, is someone. Ranting Monkey is somebody else. Arch as well. I still have to get V on one of our streams. Medica came back from the dead. Yeah, I did hear his stream. One of these days, I will nick his dancing puddings and put it in one of my streams. Just as like an ode to Jim. Because the dancing puddings make me laugh. Because they are funny. At least you don't ramble like Adam and say children should vote. Dude, anyone who thinks children should vote is a fucking retard. Like, seriously. For God's sakes, I don't even want adults to vote because they're dumb as shit. Now we're gonna get children to vote as well? Like, seriously? Like, shut up. If that's your political acumen, never discuss politics. You're an idiot. God's sake, people are stupider than ever, but we're going to get children involved in the voting process. The one thing that's a problem with the Americans is that the dumbest people fucking vote. Now you want to get children to vote. Like, Jesus Christ. What guns do I like? A 44 Magnum. A Desert Eagle. A bazooka. And a sawn-off shotgun. Although there is a case to be made, if children can decide their own gender, they should be smart enough to decide politics. Now, if only we can flip that and say children can't decide their own gender, therefore they shouldn't be allowed to fucking vote either. Can we give dogs the right to vote? Women can already vote, you zero fucks. Or bitches, rather. Yeah, having stupid people vote is the Democrats' modus operandi. Yeah, that is true. If a child can become a soldier, why can't they vote? Because if they're a soldier, they can usually shoot other people in a small, limited range. Whereas if they vote, they can fuck up entire nations. See, the thing of it is, with children being soldiers, they need the coordination of a general or a higher up. Whereas if they vote, Jesus fucking Christ. Kids could pick junk food and wear a Viking helmet and fabric cape if they could have a choice to do it. To be fair, if they did that, they would still look better dressed than most people do nowadays. Oh, fucking, that reminds me, I was walking around my neighborhood a while ago. And these, like, 4 girls approach. And I'm looking at them thinking, I'm basically the grumpy old man already. Because what... Jesus fucking Christ. The one girl is showing way too much skin. And she's the one that is the least flattering of the bunch, if I can put it fucking mildly. The bitch is built like a fucking hippo. She's like 16 years old. And the freaking short shorts are like screaming in fucking pain. Like, bitch, if you're a fucking short shorts you're wearing is like an inch high, this is like a fucking sex crime scene, for God's sakes. If your parents made you walk like that at the house, your parents hate you. I don't know who's got less respect for you, you or your fucking parents. If you have a bad monarchist, the regents will take care of them. Fucking revolution is kind of a last resort. Adam and Sitch only want yes men, and I hate it. To be fair, I wouldn't say I want yes men as well. On veto getting sued. Which veto? There's a whole bunch of vetoes that I know. The main veto I know is a bodybuilder, so I'm curious as to which one you mean. I can't fault them for wanting yes men. I mean, they have a larger chat, so if there's people that are disruptive, it can get a bit overwhelming. Generally speaking, I don't mind Adam and Sitch overall. I just wish they would avoid certain topics. As far as Adam and Sitch goes, like anything that isn't woke, they tend to be shit hat. Because they yeah, but here's the thing, Eldergo, so people can call me retarded, I don't really care, because I'm not wrong. So it's like someone calling me stupid, like, you're dumb, like, I'm not, so I'm not really that bothered by it. If you can give me a reason why I'm wrong, I'll respect that. But, you know, if you're just gonna call me stupid, it's like, okay, yeah, but that's just like your opinion. Let's see, Senior Son trying to get YouTubers together, smash the dollars together, now like each other and make me laugh. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Yeah, Aiden is at the Nerdroid meetup. That's why she is here. Oh, she's not here, and I am. Yeah, women do need to put more clothes on. They also need to put their brains back in their fucking head, because I think feminism has made it fall out of their skulls. I saw there's one tweet. I don't think hold on, let me see. I don't think I have it saved. I'm actually amazed. I'm amazed you could fucking have this on Twitter. Even sexy if I can find this. Sometimes I wish I saved really basic shit. Oh, god damn it. Maybe it's in my bookmarks. Oh, god fucking damn it, I didn't save it. Fuck. It was basically, it was a woman that said something along the lines of, I've been with 2 guys and 6 canines in like the last 3 years, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, and they want to identify as like a trans canine. One of the comments was, this is why we've suppressed you for like every fucking civilization for like 2,000 years. Like, yeah, that probably is fucking true. Yeah, god damn it. You can't give women power. They just do stupid shit with it. They're not supposed to have it. They don't know how to be responsible with it. Yeah, Neil Sabinas, you heard that right. I'm assuming she had the 3 pandas and then went to the canines, because I don't imagine it was the other way around. Otherwise, that's fucking horrifying. Tell you what, that last guy must have fucked her the hell up. Fucking god. Oh my god, that's fucking rough. Ah, good lord. The dog pill is the blackest of meals. Okay. Queen Victoria save us. Oh god, yeah. Bloody hell. I did actually want to make this a Q&A stream. At least at the start. To see where it will go. Ever heard of cargo cults? Yeah, Aaron McIntyre did a stream with Molbug about cargo cults. I think he's the one who originally came up with the phrase. It's one that the white men stole them, fucking hell. Let's see, Binary Eclipse. Ever heard of cargo cults? Apparently, when primitive tribes saw aeroplanes for the first time, they thought it came from their ancestors and that the white man stole them. I don't know how he would stole them. Like, what would be our use for them? Oh, dog pill. Oh, fucking please, no, stop. Yeah, okay. It's probably a werewolf. Oh, Jesus Christ. Who held the leash in the last relationship? Oh, God. I don't know, but someone was clearly yanked by a chain. Fucking hell. How did I meet Aiden? Oh, okay, so, Aiden and I met because, Adam and Sitch's streams have like an unofficial Discord server called, Centrist Militia. I think that's the one it was called. And there was 2 guys on there. Alex and Stanton. And they said to me, you should talk to this person, Years. I had no idea who the hell that was. And when Years was on the stream, she said, oh, we're going to have Aiden on this week. And I went like, Aiden Paladin? Like, oh, okay. Then no, she hangs out with like smaller content creators. Because usually content creators tend to like hover around a certain sub sort of count, really. And when I went on the stream, Aiden was there, and I spoke to Aiden, and I was polite. Yeah, Centrist Militia is kind of a cringe name, but whatever. To be fair, if I went in there right now, I would probably stir some shit. And afterwards, Aiden and I messaged Aiden, and then we sort of got along from there. And I just said, oh, I'm a monarchist. And like, oh yeah, so am I. I'm like, really? We're both monarchists. Okay, that's unusual. And then we just basically became friends from that. Aiden is my long lost sister. No, because Aiden and I have nothing in common aside from politics. It's really strange. Aiden and I hate a lot of the same shit. That's very true. So for the most part, if I see dumb shit, I know I can show said dumb shit to Aiden, and it will piss her off just as much as it will piss me off. So that's the one nice thing if about having Aiden as a best friend, is I can say, look, Aiden, dumb shit is annoying me. Look, here's dumb shit, and then she will see the dumb shit and get annoyed. Basically, if I want to do a stream about something else that will annoy me, I can give it to Aiden knowing that she will get more annoyed by it than I am. Like the last stream that we did, I just like, wow, Aiden, this is annoying me something fierce, and then Aiden gets more annoyed than I do. It's just funny as shit. Yeah, wait, everything except one thing. Jeff is proud he slept with fat minorities to prove he isn't racist. Really? And the Ghost, are you trolling, rather? I can't tell. Some of this shit the YouTubers come out with, I wouldn't fucking know. These people do a lot of crazy, dumb shit. I wouldn't do any of that shit, by the way. The one thing you can say about me is I don't grift and I don't say or do outrageous shit just for the fucking views or anything. I already have outrageous views anyway. When I first found this channel, I was under the impression you were her husband. I mean, probably some people would think that. But I like... Does Aiden have a cold spoon? Why you not notice me? She probably does. If we get her on in a couple of days' time, I'll ask her. You two agree to disagree about Pearl. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's kind of the one thing that we butt heads about. Okay, I would say this. Aiden has I wouldn't say it's a hard time understanding this, but Aiden, I get the impression Aiden thinks like more of in a puritanical way than I do, in the sense that the sort of reputation of the person as a whole matters a lot, and I don't really think that way. I care more for how does the influence of this person affect the world. And if it's like 80% they're a shitty person, but 20% is really good, and the 20% is what propels them to fame, shall we say, and generally speaking, they're a positive influence, I don't deem them to be that bad. Like Andrew Tate is a good example. I quite like him because A, he annoys people, and that amuses me, and I don't consider him as much of a toxic person as people think, because I've listened to him talk. And when people say, "Oh, look, he brought girls over, he did all this shit, and this is shady as fuck," I want to say, like, the human trafficking thing. How many people do you know has been accused of human trafficking, and they cite Andrew Tate as a source? Anyone? Anyone heard even fucking one? I haven't heard one. I've heard a lot of people praise him for their lives going better because they listen to him. I've never heard a single person being found guilty of a crime citing him as a source for inspiration for said crime. So that's kind of the way that I view it. Yeah, no, Aiden is more focused with the kind of vibe that a person puts out, and I'm a guy, so I don't really focus on things that way. I try to listen to people and sort of take them at their word. I don't really focus so much on oh, do you know what this person said about this person? This is how I view this person. Like, no, shut the fuck up. I just listen to the influence, and then I will go with that. What did he know about the Clintons? Anyone who knows too much about the Clintons tend to disappear. Ask Seth Rich. Yeah, I can't respect the pimping thing, but, like that's like the bad thing. But if I listen to his, like, opinion on discipline and being sensible and, fighting edge males and armies and, like, yeah, okay, I like what he says about that. They're both awful. Yeah, they're kind of true. Yeah, they do care about the message. I don't know why. For me, I was just if someone as like goes viral for any reason, I would like to listen to what they say, and then I just base my opinion on what people say. That's why when people said to me like, "Do you know what this person said? Do you know what this person thinks?" I'm like, I don't give a crap what the hell they think. That's not relevant to what they're doing now. When people say, "Oh, look, they're like a grifter," like you know when someone has like an established reputation among whatever, and then they say shit that is sensible, but because of a past history, now suddenly the message becomes void, as if the history is something that absolutely fucking everyone knows. Like, here's a good example: Vorsh. Vorsh is a complete twat in every sense of the friggin' word. But the clip that Anna Kasparian put out of him is where he said the LGBT community is toxic as fuck and they have mental problems, and you can't appeal to them rationally because they're nuts. Like that is a rational opinion that actually has some facts, and that's the one thing that Anna tried to smear him for. Like, I know, like, he sims for the fucking thing now, and to say like yeah, this is what he used to believe, and I can understand that it makes him look like a hypocrite. But the thing of it is, the people that he appears to be a hypocrite to don't give a shit, because fucking hypocrisy is not something that ever fucking bugs them, because their entire ideology is full of hypocrisy, for heaven's sake. And two, that's like the one thing you said that's sane to anyone who's on the right. So putting that out is the... What are you doing, Anna? This does not make him look like a jackass. This makes him look like a jackass to people who don't give a fuck that he looks like a jackass. To anyone who's sensible, they may like, wow, the one thing you have a go on him for is the one time he looks sane. And a bad strategy. When will Pearl pay the toll? When she hits 35. Because I don't think she's going to get a guy anytime soon. Aiden is right, though, that she just needs to dress herself better. That much is fucking true. And she tends to have a whiny presentation that needs to sort of calm the fuck down. She's got a very kind of screechy demeanor that is kind of off-putting to me, if I'm being bluntly honest. It's the only time it really comes out is when somebody's interrupting her, which tends to be a lot because she says sane, sensible things, and then women get very pissy. Anna's married and she is 35. Good for her. At 35, she should be married. Well, at least if you have a personality like her, because dear fucking God. I pity her husband. Can you imagine being married to Anna Kasparian? My good God, that voice. Fucking Christ. Make you slit your wrists. It's like, yeah, Anna is insufferable. The thing that I find interesting about Anna is I don't think she's necessarily a bad person, but I do think that she's definitely very easily influenced by people around her, and that is her biggest problem. She doesn't have the thick skin to say what she really thinks on her own without there being some kind of like safety net, if I can put it that way. Because when she went, I want to say like hard right, but when she said sane, sensible things, everyone defended her. Even the people that can't stand it, like myself. Like, for the most part, I can't stand it, but when she says something based, I have to go, yeah, that's just true. Like, I can hate you, but if you still say something correct, I'm still going to agree that what you said is sane. Because, I mean, for God's sake, you can't just say, oh, look, you're a lefty, you're saying something based now, there we have to agree with you. No, you don't agree with her, for God's sakes, but you can at least let her know that she has, I won't say allies, but a group that will support her if she were to leave. Because the main thing, you guys have to understand, these people who think this kind of shit, they live in this world, right? Their politics is their entire livelihood, in her case, quite literally. And they have no personalities outside of this thing that they have. And so the idea of letting it go is like someone losing their faith. It's like a huge hole in their existence that gets removed. And for many of them, that is incredibly traumatic, which is why they find they find it so very difficult to let go. It's like democracy. People believe that shit with religious fervor as well. No, Lucy, it's only me today. Because Aiden is in the UK. Hey, Destiny can occasionally say something based. But again, Destiny needs to not be around other people. Because if you get him to say lefty things to other lefty people, then it's like... he comes across more like he's trying to draw an audience rather than saying something sensible. Yeah, they're like politicians. Which is really kind of fucking annoying. This stream is relaxing. I've just been rambling, essentially. How retarded the US is. Because you know Aiden isn't here. Yeah, it's just me. Who will... I'm not saying... What is with you guys in that word? Why is that word a thing that I'm supposed to say? Oh god, shoe on head. Shoe on head is someone that I would like to convert. I don't know why, but there's like a bit of me that wants to make her into a sane person. I don't know why, but it's because I like challenges. My mind looks at Shoe and like, I must fix her. But not in like I'm trying to date you kind of way. More just like I just want to like take a crack at twiddling with her head. I don't know why. It's something that I want to do. It's because you won't, yeah. Yeah, she's not bad looking, but I don't find her sexually appealing. She's not Asian enough, she's too white. That's my bias kicking in. Oh god. She's too fun gone. Can lolbertarians be saved? Well, yeah. Look at Aiden. Aiden is a lolbert, but she's a monarchist. No, guys. People need to understand this. I don't want to fix her because I want to date her. I want to fix her because I think it would be funny to try. See to become a furry? No. I don't have these weird sexual fetishes like so many other people. Like, dude, the YouTubers have some weird fucking shit. If anyone were to look at like my history, they would find me incredibly boring. Because I don't have any like insane shit that would make me go, wow, Spoon's really fucked up. Like, no. I'm actually rather plain. I think the most out there thing with me is I have an extremely bad violent temper. Which you can probably tell by the way I do YouTube videos. I keep telling myself that, dude, I have heard some people say some of the shit that they talk about. Like I've heard groups of... Let me just say this. There is nothing more disgusting than hearing groups of women talk about sex. Like, seriously, women are fucking disgusting when it comes to sex. Like, women, when they talk about sex, is so gross, you can even make the most freaking sex-addicted male turn into a bloody aristocrat. Just like, oh dear god, these women are revolting. Fucking tell me I'm lying, women are gross. If you think men are perverts, you hear women talk about sex, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Lay off the fucking margaritas or sauce, whatever the fucking hell you're slurring, Jesus Christ. That's a common trope, by the way. And anyone who says this has never heard women in a group talk about sex. Like, women are disgusting. The hentai game. I'm not gonna lie. V has been... I will say this. If anyone were to look at my chats on Discord, the most vile shit I get sent is by fucking V. Because V talks about his fucking game to me. And I was reading his stories. There's a reason why he fucking did a live stream about me and he fucking... He played the clip of me reviewing his character. Because his character is horribly depressing and just psychotic. And I went, V, this woman is just disgustingly evil. Why? Like, there's no payoff other than you get killed in the story. Because I heard the ending of the story. I won't spoil it for you, but it just made me go, dude, this is harrowing. Why? Why? He's got great writing. I will give him that. But the character itself was just, God, why V? Like, there's no positive payoff. It's just like, God, I want to... Like, I have... how can I say this politely? I have controversial views about the XXs. Shall we say? And when I was reading V's script for how he portrays the succubi, I'm like, God damn, this is not helping me. Like, this is just making me want to say things that I can't fucking say. How do you join the Discord? Hold on a second. Where the fuck is the invitations? That link should work for anyone that wants to join the Discord. I'm not really on the Discord very often. If I did, I'm probably fucking screeching. Oh, holy shit. Arizona court rules Secretary of State has been using shady signature verification methods for the past 2 elections. Ballot signatures were being matched with voter registration is violation of state law. Well, if they're using in the last 2 elections... Huh. Well, what does that say? I mean, wasn't Trump essentially 1 state away from winning in 2020? I mean, I don't know. I just remember watching it that light and went like, I see a lot of shady ass shit here. Does anyone actually talk in Discord? Oh yeah, people definitely talk in Discord. I talk in Discord all the bloody time. There's 1 or 2 servers I go to if I want to troll people. Because I have a lot of... I read news on a daily basis. And so I have to take out my aggression on things with a pulse. So I can hear the response when I rage. Either that or I put them in videos and then you guys watch them and then I get paid. Thank you for that, by the way. I can't even chat in it. I'm assuming you need to get verified. Dude, I saw the election on the night. Trump was over 1 million votes ahead by like 5 swing states. Like, I watched, like, Trump is gonna fucking kick the shit out of this goofy fucking fossil jackass. And then several hours later, like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah. Isn't it interesting? Florida and Ohio, they cleared their election system and it becomes extremely hard to write. Like, gee, I wonder why. It's a total coincidence, isn't it? Florida's a blue state, fixed election system. Oh, no, actually, it's not. Actually, it's like really hardcore fucking red. Like, oh, my God. Curious. It's amazing how that happens, isn't it? Yeah. When you have free and fair elections, it tends to be the right winning. I wonder why that is. Can anyone tell us why? Fuck's sakes. Was there ever a subject that made you so angry that you felt you can't make it? Yes, anything to do with South Africa's politics will make me get very racist. But not racist in a way that would... It will only be racist for people outside of South Africa. If you said the shit that I want to say to any people of color, whether you're colored or black in South Africa, and they just know what the fuck is going on, no one will say you're racist. They will just go, you know, if you say like, we want whites to rule, anyone with sense would go, oh yeah, because the government was better, and like, that's it. But in South Africa, or outside of South Africa, people are like, oh, how can you say that? Well, because we live there, you fucking retards, that's why. People who live in the country, who've experienced the shit that's been going on in the country, they just want better government. And if they think that the government is better run by whites and they're under it, then they will just say that and then prefer that. It's not very controversial. It's only controversial to, you know, people who live in the West. Anyone else outside of it would go, yeah, that's just how we would prefer the country to run. Sensible as shit. Yeah, fuck hell. By the way, if you guys want to ask me a question that I can actually answer, feel free to do so. I'll give you like 10 minutes. Then I can answer some questions. And yes, you can ask anything, whether it be games, channel-related, YouTube, or world news, or who should get nuked. I'll give you a hint, it's not China or Russia. Doesn't have to watch just no communists. Yeah, but the problem is all the communists are non-white. That's a bloody thing. And no one trusts them. It's Africa as a whole. That's the thing. Oh, give me a moment. What's on Spider-Man 2? What, in the movie or the game? Which one? New Canada. No, Canada just needs its government replaced, not the people. I don't have anything against Canadian people. How do we chat up a lady? I usually just talk about something that I can overhear. Spoon plays any games? Yeah, I do actually play games. Thoughts on Brexit? Shit show, it ruined my fucking whiskey. I'm very self-centered when it comes to Brexit. No, Brexit was essentially a name only. The UK is still not really free from the tentacles of Brussels. And it won't ever be unless it goes like full monarchy mode. Because let's be honest, like who else the fucking hell are they gonna really get into power that's gonna change shit? I mean, there's no one really there's no Trump person in the UK apparatus. It's just like watching a person slowly die. Like who the fuck are they getting there? Keir Starmer? Fucking like the UK is such a weird country. It's the only country I know where the conservatives aren't conservative enough, and therefore the people will vote for Labour who are not conservatives. Like Jesus fucking Christ, it's just. God, the UK is retarded. Rumor has it the GTA is pricing it. Yeah, I saw the Arch video. Like, fucking hell, 150 quid at launch? Oh, I will say, though, the Arch is right. If there is one game that can possibly pull that off, it is GTA. But I will say GTA 5 storyline was shit. Like, you know, gameplay was fun. And I did like some of the missions, but the story was repetitive as fuck. Yeah, on PS2, Spider-Man 2 was great. On PC, it was fucking horrific. Like, the port was arse. I would actually get a bloody, I would get a controller just for that game. Because I have a PS2 emulator. And it actually works very, very well. Although I think rendering the city on the PS2 emulator would be fucking horrible. Thoughts on King Charles? I don't really mind King Charles. He just stay the fuck out of politics, which is ironic considering I wish he would be in politics, at least from the monarchical perspective, of whether or not he would be a good king. Well, he's not involved with policy. Although I think any king that doesn't purge the minorities from their cities is not really worthy of kingship, essentially. Because you don't want to have a foreign horde in your city that basically just loots your place fucking dry. Get him the fuck out of your nation. Whiskey, the drink of weaklings. Get the fuck out of my comment section. Whiskey is not the drink of weaklings. Whiskey is the drink of people that know how to hold their alcohol. Would a zombie apocalypse make things better or no difference? It's made things worse. We already have those people. They're called phone drones. When we release a workout routine video... Dude, there's like thousands of videos about workout routines. Like, I will add nothing to the conversation with that kind of shit. Would we know the zombies? No. Did they spend the ESG thing? Dude, the ESG thing is not going to go away. People say that it is. No, it'll just get rebranded as something else. King Charles was buddy with... I don't know what King Charles was. No, it's freaking hell. Those people are fucking buddy with all kinds of elements of power. They're basically like this to blackmail. Like, there is a part of me that thinks you do not get into any arena of politics unless you do some really shady gay shit. So that's like an insurance policy in case you want to get a little too independent, shall we say. Yes, I miss GTA Vice City as well. GTA Vice City and GTA San Andreas were the best ones because their stories were fantastic. I did think 4 had a better story than 5, but I wasn't really a fan of 4. Mainly because I wanted to punch Roman constantly, because he's constantly calling me to do shit. I'm like, fuck off. Like, this game is to rob and shoot. Not to fucking play a real life dating game. Fuck out of here. Let's say Bryce's Day. I read that as St. Brick's Day first. Paint thinner is a drink of men. Yeah, paint thinner is a drink of dead men. I'm essentially an Anglophile. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're an Anglophile. Yeah, okay. No, I can understand that. The naked yoga video. Fucking hell. I came up with a joke. Why did the black guy come across the road? I like this line for a number of reasons. I look forward to my mum's reaction the most. He wanted to avoid the climate activists. It's a very white crowd, that one. Oh, God, yeah. We should get that guy that drove... who was the guy that drove through the Christmas crowd and killed a bunch of people with the vehicle? We should get him to talk at the climate protesters. Be a hashtag he did nothing wrong. Communism will sleep. Yes, a very, very long sleep. Every color is more of a soul than a spirit. Yeah, like it's like 90% fucking alcohol, isn't it? Spoon, what is your thought about this Sitch saying the New York Times fornication article was just a joke? What, you mean the Times article? Dude, Sitch is out of his fucking mind. Fuck that. Yeah, like, Sitch has got, like, TDS fucking galore. I think it's because he voted for Biden, which was the stupidest thing he's ever done. And now he can't ever admit that he was wrong, and so he says insane, stupid shit. He strikes me as the kind of person that can't ever admit that he's wrong because he has a massive fucking ego. People think Adam have the biggest ego between him and Sitch. Like, no, Sitch's ego is way bigger. He just hides it more. He just hides it better. But when he tries to break it, my God, he does say the most insanely stupid shit. Is intelligent things on Twitter? No, there isn't. That's complete bullshit. booty juice. Best whiskey? Oh god, no. If you're gonna do whiskey, do whiskey via region. Ireland's best whiskey is Yellow Spot, in my opinion. There was another one recently, Red Spot. I haven't had that. It's like €150. Like, you know. If I ever make up a whiskey fund, which has been suggested that I should call it the Inebriate Me Fund, which I will totally do one of these days. I will do that, and probably get me a best Japanese whiskey, Hakushu 12. Hakushu 12 or the Nika coffee grain. Oh my god, the coffee grain. Oh god, that is fucking good. If you open it, smells like mango and coconut on the nose. It's actually bourbon, essentially made in the coffee still, and in Japan. Yeah, Green Spot. Green Spot is... I don't think I've actually had Green Spot. I had Yellow Spot in a bar years ago, and it really stuck with me. Glendronach 12. Yeah, Glendronach is dark fruits. And a bit of honey all damn day. New vaccines. Dude, who the hell is taking the vaccines at this fucking point? Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, the coffee grain. Yeah, the coffee grain is absolutely outstanding. Would I fight Stitch in the ring? How do I beat a shadow? Someone can answer me that question. I like seeing Stitch get very angry. Like the time when someone from the Discord server came and just basically throttled the shit out of him. I saw Hard Bastard do a video on it. It was fucking funny as shit. I'd say my favorite whiskey from America, I've got 3. Maker's 46, Woodford, not Woodford Reserve, fuck what am I talking about? Four Roses single barrel, and Balcones single malt. And yes, Ant-Man, I do. There you go. I just mentioned the 3. Those would be my my 3 Americans. Thoughts on mead and sake? I've never had mead and sake. I tend to drink red wine. Well, to cook with red wine, really. Same with white. But I tend to only just drink whiskey. On occasion, I'll have a beer. And not very frequently. Do I think the Transformers movement will end the West? No, but I think it'll do a significant damage to the population. I've not had the coffee grain, or the coffee malt, sorry. The coffee malt, Daniel from the Whiskey Tribe said is disgusting, and I have a palate similar to his, so if he says it's gross, I will take his word for it. Sales pitch for whiskey, if you're a non-drinker. Sales pitch for whiskey if you're a non-drinker. Chat, help me out here. I don't really know how to answer that. Sales pitch for the whiskey if you're a non-drinker. Huh. I'm curious as to like how I would pitch whiskey to someone who doesn't drink. Because like whiskey is like top tier drinking. Like whiskey is something you only drink if you know your way around alcohol. It's not something I would advise a beginner to get into. Because it'll fuck you up. Like if you don't know alcohol and you drink any whiskey, like the first thing you will do is just smell alcohol, alcohol, alcohol. Even on like a 40%. Although I will say you acclimate to whiskey very quickly, or at least I did anyway. Once you can handle 40, then you're on to 43, and then 46, and then 50, and then 52, and then 54, and then cask. And fucking hell, I will say like 54 to cask is like... Gin is horrible, Lamented Guide. I'm not a fan of gin. Gin can fuck off. There's so many alcohol I could just say. Like, Gin and vodka can fuck off both. People who say they hate the taste of alcohol, that tells me that they have just never had a good alcohol. Alcohol isn't bad. You just need to know good alcohol from shit alcohol. I would say get someone who's not terribly aristocratic about whiskey. Like, get someone who's more beginner on whiskey to give you an introduction. Because the problem is that the people who are connoisseurs, they often... A lot of the stuff that they appreciate will go over a newbie's head. And so you want to start off... Like, if you're new to whiskey, don't start with anything that's over 43%. Like, start easy. Yeah, Aiden does drink a shitload. It's not Aiden's drinking I'm worried about, it's Aiden's fucking legs. The woman has got chicken feet for ankles. I've not actually had Buffalo Trace. Bushmill I have downstairs. I actually have a Hakushu 12 downstairs that I've not opened up. That I've had for years now. It was given to me by let's just say a certain lady and leave it at that. When I tried to get a bottle. Do I know the story of tonic and gin? I can't say I have. Yeah, but Buffalo Trace is like a nice entry bourbon, from what I hear. But could whiskey be watered down for a first time? Yeah, most people drink whiskey with ice. A lady of the night. No, she was not a lady of the evening. She was a lady of good virtue, not an easy virtue. Bloody hell, I don't think I would snag a whore and she would end up giving me real expensive whiskey. That means I don't even know what that would mean. It's kind of weird if you shagged a whore and she gave you whiskey for shagging it. That's unusual. But yeah. Whiskey and water are buddies to call it tea. Oh, that's fucking good. I mean, when I first started drinking whiskey, I don't think I ever went with water. I just went heavy and drank it straight. Because I think I was told drinking alcohol with water makes you a sissy. And I didn't want to be a sissy, so I just drank it like a guy. Neat. And like Gusto has said, I've not had meat and sake. So there you go. Low maintenance, average looking women are way better than model looking women. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't go for an average looking chick because I've been with really, really pretty women. So like my bar is like anything below an 8, I'm not even gonna look at you. Because that's what I've had before. So my bar is really fucking high. And if you can get an 8 or a 10, then for fuck's sakes, you have to look like you can constantly get an 8 or a 10. So otherwise you're just fucking annoyed with yourself. Yeah, champagne is not bad, Jake. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm very susceptible to peer pressure. Am I fuck? How am I susceptible to peer pressure? Give me an example of anything that I've done that would lead you to believe I cater to peer pressure. You can send me one. What do you want to send me? A flask of whiskey? People can send me whiskey if they want. Hell, if anyone wants to send me a whiskey, I'll freaking give you my address. Or just like a place where you can send it to and I go pick it up. And I'll do a video. And I'll give you my thoughts. Although, don't do that on a regular basis. Fucking hell, I don't want to develop Aiden's fucking drinking habits. I'll go from a political channel to a whiskey channel. No, 3 of 12, I'm not saying that fucking word. Ever. Yeah, if you don't drink whiskey straight, like, okay, if you're new to alcohol, I can sort of understand and you want to drink it with, but, you know, there's some whiskeys you have to water down. Like, if you drink Booker's, like, Jesus fucking Christ, then you have to add a bit of water in it, because it's like 66%. That's just going to be like drinking fire. Like, the alcohol is so high, it burns. Oh, you like, okay, you can't send booze, but if you want to buy from a shop in Europe and then send it to where I live, do that. A whiskey channel doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, but I'm not a professional whiskey taster. I think I would just crack jokes. Absinthe is also delicious. Isn't absinthe like 90%? How do you taste something that's 90% alcohol? Don't you just like taste searing throat dissipation? No, Robo, that will not work. Absinthe will make you trip. Yes, it will also strip your throat of any feeling. God, I'm not going to show my face on the video, just so that people can get me to drink. So no wild turkey. You can get wild turkey at the local shop here. Is there alcohol channels do crack jokes and shit? Yeah. Except I would, I would have to do politics and get drunk. Which is something you should never do. Is do, alcohol and then politics. Although I have done alcohol and politics in a bar. And I trolled the girl out of a bar while I was drunk on whiskey. That was a fun day. I think I've told that story before. It was made with wormwood hallucinogenic. What the fuck? What kind of shit are you drinking? 60%, that's fucking high proof. That would just fuck you up. 60%, god fucking damn. Don't end up like Mel Gibson. No, I already have his opinions. I would like to try some moonshine, actually. I insist that you wear a top hat and a monocle. I feel like if I did a top hat and a monocle, I'd be like, essentially like a snotty version of Slash. I'm so mean to my co-host. What the fuck? My co-host says shit about me all the damn time. I'm being very polite today. Do I think ever Western Europe? No, I think Western Europe will go to war before they do mass deportations. That's my interpretation. Yeah, Raphael, that's basically how I would imagine seeing myself. Because if I drink, I'm just gonna say shit that I would normally say, but I'm slightly hesitant of saying. Whereas if I have alcohol in me, like, I don't give a fuck. I'll either be very quiet or I'll get very talkative if someone presses me. Which is why I probably should not do streams if I was heavily drinking. Because if people ask me shit. Your co-host is the AI voiceover. Dude, I think I sound more like an AI than Aiden does. I don't think Aiden sounds like an AI at all. Trolled Aiden out of a bar. No, I don't think I could troll Aiden out of a bar, especially not considering how I usually do that as politics. She agrees too much. Feed them in cherry apples, you know. I did actually just want to do a video for this stream. I don't even know if I can start it now, considering the fucking time. Give me like 5 minutes, and I'll start the video. It's actually like it's a bunch of black conservatives versus white liberals. It was like basically a half of Thomas Sowell's fucking book, and I saw Destiny was in it, and I thought, oh fucking hell, Destiny's gonna say some dumb shit, isn't he? I don't think Aiden, hold on. Oh, Aiden is here. Aiden, can you hear us? Yeah, the liberal in the thumbnail is annoying. They just look shady. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can start this. Close all of that down. And move this one over here. What's my screen capture here? I saw this go viral, by the way, on some places. So I want to see embrace the AI voice. I already have an AI voice. I don't even embrace shit. Let's see. Babushka's here. I have someone called Babushka on my Discord. I'm assuming it's not the same person. Anyway.
We want you to help us
Oh, tell me if the sound is good, by the way. It's like, oh, fuck, I can't make it any louder, can I?
decide what the next 112 episodes will be. Join our Middle Ground Patreon community and make Middle Ground with us.
Did I just see the thing that just said there, Hassan versus Ben Shapiro?
This is the 112th episode of Middle Ground, and we want you to help us decide what the next 112...
Hassan Piker versus Ben Shapiro. Jesus fucking Christ. Can you imagine that as a debate? Oh my god. Fucking Twitch would lose a streamer. And Jenk would lose a nephew. Fucking Ben Shapiro would kick the shit out of him. My god, that'd be horrifying. Closeted queer versus openly queer. Well, if it comes out, then he would no longer be closeted now, would he? Fucking jeez. Oh, good god.
Episodes will be. Join our Middle Ground Patreon community and make Middle Ground with us.
I was chosen to read the following prompt. White Americans have...
Is that a guy? God, that thing's voice fucking deeper than mine.
way more advantages than black Americans.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. In my opinion, the reason why white people are perceived to have privileges is because as a group they are far more civilized and behave than blacks. And so when other people are around them, there's a certain vibe and apprehension that white people don't have. Because we are better behaved. That's just my opinion.
I think I'm a rarity here.
It would seem so.
Do white Americans have more advantages because they're white, or do just white Americans have advantages because of historic factors? I think that people want to argue at the end of the day over whether it's because you're white or not. I think that the answer is because you're white in the past, and that's how it kind of carries over to today. You know, even in times of the United States history where black people tried to build wealth, you know, with the Tulsa riots and everything, where, yeah, this wealth has been destroyed. And something that's upsetting to me is when conservatives talk about how we can't blame the past for what's happening in the present. That is true to some extent, but then in the next breath they'll talk about how important it is to have dual-parent households, how important it is to have a strong family, to have responsibility passed on from parent to child. And we've seen in the past that because of racial issues, that process has been severely disrupted.
No, that's because of democratic policies that has been disrupted. Destiny has fuck all to do with race. At least not in the sort of cultural sense. It was done by democratic policies. That is not a good start, my dude.
The funny thing is that agreeing with all these things is when I did my research when I was younger, which arrived me to my standpoint of being a conservative, because I believed it was racist, Democrat, liberal ideologies and policies dating all the way back to the 1800s, all the way up to the 1960s, and then
Smart kid.
the purported big switch. But I think it was more so when Democrats decided to be a bit more cloak and dagger about their true.
Hey, I like this
opinions of
guy
black people,
already.
to be more secretive and more, oh, we want to help you by doing these things and seeing them as
Doing
inferior.
what things?
Affirmative action, welfare, all sorts
So
of
wait,
things that
welfare,
eventually
so-
ruin our culture and place us where we are now.
So
but
giving-
I want to get back to the history of it, because we're talking
Well,
about.
I just want to make sure we're clear. Giving them money hurt them, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes, giving them, because if your father's out of the home, that's when we give you the money. If you're living in
Yeah,
this
so
housing,
then give them
if
the
you're
money
living
while
in
the
this
dad's
housing
in-
rent-free,
well, then
that's
give
how
them
you
the
get
money
more of
while
the
the
money.
dad's in the
If
home,
you-
then.
If you're working
So
this
give
amount of
them the-
hours and getting less than this amount of dollars, you're getting money
You're
from the
throwing
government.
the
Yes,
baby-
it is
you're
incentivizing.
throwing the baby out with the
it is-
bathwater.
I don't even know what that means in this scenario, because yes.
You're
okay, you
throwing
want to talk
out-
about throwing babies
Okay,
out with
let
the
me break this
bathwater?
down for
Margaret
you.
Sanger wanted to exterminate the black race because she thought they were weeds. So yeah, we can literally talk about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's what Margaret Sanger, that's what Democrat policies wanted to do to my people. So
You can tell this kid has definitely had this thrown at his face before, and he's just like this is a rehearsed speech, because he's just fucking letting fly. He's like, "Don't interrupt me, white dude. I'll kick your ass," which I'm totally here for.
So that's why I feel so strongly about it, because it is these policies that date back centuries that were built off of the death and poverty of my people.
Let's take a breath. So,
I'm breathing.
okay.
So a lot of babies aren't, but
All
I
right.
am,
Okay.
sadly.
Oof, nice shot. Very nice. Yeah, dude, white dude, just check out. Stop. Like, there's nothing Jurgen's gonna say here. Like, this kid is way more versed in this argument than you.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, clearly, that's very much the case.
When I say throw the baby out with the bathwater, you want to completely get rid of welfare,
Yes. And why would we not?
okay? Or at least I don't want to put that on you, you haven't said that, but the conservative apparatus does, clearly. So giving money to a group of people does not hurt them.
Yes, it does. We literally saw this during the coup. You fucking idiot.
I mean,
It
sure, if
can't.
you're talking about a lottery,
It
just,
literally
hey, take
can't.
money. But
Yes.
there are strings
Take money.
attached to that money.
Take all the
there
money.
are strings attached
Give
to
them
that
millions. Make them all millionaires. I don't care.
This kind of person is why I don't want liberals to vote. Because they just say dumb shit. Do you understand how economics work? Or like the human incentive of just giving people fucking cash? Or like who would give them cash? Where would it come from? Like, it makes them dependent on the state, you fucking moron.
Giving money to black people does not hurt them.
Yes, it does. It hurts any human beings.
That
And
has
thinking
not
that.
happened, though. That has not happened.
What do you mean?
That has not happened.
No.
It hasn't been a
You're saying
reparations. It hasn't been this
so
or that.
what
It has
you're
been
saying,
a welfare program,
welfare
Great
was
Societies
designed.
Act, that
Welfare
was built
was-
off of the idea of, hey, we get these families split up, we get these
So
people
then let
living
them
here.
keep the family together and keep all the money.
I mean,
There you go.
I guess
Boom,
so,
done.
but I guarantee you,
I guess
there's
so.
no way that
Why
would
would you
happen.
not advocate for that?
So in your, I guess, research of like history of this country,
Okay, I hate when they do this cutting thing because I want to know how that ended. Because you damn well know that black dude kicked the shit out of that white guy.
and everything, do you find like the Reconstruction era and like the failures of like what it wanted to be and then what it ended up being, and then which led into had downstream effects to enter into the Jim Crow era, and you have policies like redlining that influence how schools are funded. The downstream effects of slavery, do you think put black people as generally in a worse off position than white Americans?
I think generation by generation, the effects of slavery have been diluted, but generation by generation, the effects of racism, welfare-based policies, and things of that nature became even more great. So in the 1880s or so, when we had our first black members of Congress, which were indeed Republicans, I think that was a great start for things. But obviously, we had terrible things that happened, like the Tulsa massacre, among black people being chased out of their homes by the KKK.
Sure.
All funded by the Democrat Party, all supported by the Democrat
Okay,
Party.
well, I need to stop you there. Can you attribute not
There's fucking 3 versus 1, and he is whooping the shit out of them.
to the party, but to the ideology? Because I think when you think, regardless of whatever the party switch was, traditionally conservative values did not that's more aligned with more racist policies
It's
in this
very
country.
difficult to compare 2020's conservatism to 1880's conservatism.
God, this is gonna be a bloodbath because this kid is fucking kicking their asses, and it's not even close. Like this is like fucking handicap match here. Except we're being handicapped because there's 3 fucking liberals.
Oh, I was loving the 1v4.
Yeah, fucking. Oh god, this is gonna be good.
So personally, I feel like there's really only one thing that white people have a true advantage over black people with, and it's that white people are less likely to be forced into a box. It happens with
Told you.
black people onto other black people, but it especially happens with white liberals onto black conservatives, where we are told that we are supposed to think a certain way, be a certain way, and if we're not, then we're called all these names like etc. And the worst of all is
Did you say Uncle Tom?
bootlicker, because I hate when a white liberal tells me as a black man that I'm a bootlicker, because then I ask, whose boot am I licking? Because you're telling me as a white person that me as a black person that I'm licking your boot because I don't think in this box that you want me to frame my mentality in. That to me is real racism, and that's what we need to stop allowing to happen to us.
That white woman is like, that fucking Karen bitch right there. She does not like hearing a black dude spit some real opinions. Like, oh, this is like, you can see it in their faces, like, fucking goddamn, white women are gonna ruin the West.
Because black people are so
Fuck you all, I'm standing by that statement.
quick now to not branch out and to have new ways of thinking, or to go into careers like
You ever watch these videos and you just see the look on women's faces? Like, you can just see, like, the fucking seething rage. You can feed off of it, you can fucking power a goddamn city from it.
agriculture and these other career paths that black people don't typically get into. It's not because of racism stopping them from getting in there. It's because we're told for so long that you have to follow this path and you have to think a certain way.
I think America is a great place for a black person. I think I'm an American. Anything that's available to you is available to me and mine.
I've personally never experienced white people having way more privileges than me. Like, I'm sure you could find certain institutions where black people are treated differently, but in general, I don't think that I've missed out on anything because of being black. And if anything, it's given me more of a voice because people will want to hear what I say now because I'm black. So if anything, I have more of a platform now just on the basis of being a black conservative and saying what's not popular than I would if I was just a white person who was also conservative.
It's because you're kind of cute and you have tatas. Like, I'm just gonna be real about it. Like, fuck off. Like, I'm not gonna be one of these people that just say, "Oh, look, it's like," no, it's because you're pretty. Like, stop.
I agree with the Supreme Court's decision to end affirmative action.
Based.
I think I'm not going to start. Someone else can start. Sorry.
I think affirmative action has served its purpose. I think that it was necessary for a particular time, and I think that every black person knows how to get into college. I mean, you can pull out the names, the Oprah, President Obama. You can pull out the head of Time Warner was black man, the Forbes was black man. We know what to do now. We don't need.
By the way, am I the only one who thinks that the idea of representation is fucking retarded? Because I've never looked at any other person who's white and empowered and just thought, oh look, I can be like them, or they will give a shit about me just because of the color of their race, like the color of their skin. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Probably because I understand the nature of power. For God's sake, I've seen it in South Africa. Like the idea that people who look at you, they will somehow care because they share the same skin color is like fucking retarded.
Affirmative action anymore. And to me, affirmative
Fucking like look at global politics, for Jesus' sakes.
action is offensive sometimes, especially nowadays, because I have 6 children and 2 boys, 4 girls. And all of them went to Harvard and Columbia and this one and that one. And it breaks my heart to think that they accomplished that goal of getting into these institutions.
Bet you she married a white dude.
Just because of the color of their skin.
I can definitely say that it creates a lot of tension when you have affirmative action.
Man, it's a fucking hard clip right there, isn't it?
I remember my first week at the University of Illinois, I was sitting with some classmates and a white student turned to me and jokingly like, hey Xavier, like, did you just attach a smiley face when you applied for this college? And I started asking what he meant, and he said to me that he was like, you're black, I'm assuming you had decent grades. You could have just attached a smiley face and you would have gotten into the university. So I was livid by that, and I went off, I started naming all of my accomplishments, and I felt so confident only for about an hour. Because then an hour later, I started saying to myself like, wow, like, did I actually earn my way in here? I started to have this insecurity, and I started wondering to myself, did I earn this position myself, or did my ancestors' suffering earn this for me?
And two, I've seen it in the sense of like affirmative action taking away from other people who are minorities. Like I had a friend who was Asian and he in high school and he really wanted to go to MIT. That was his dream school. He interned there. He was super like prepared to go there and he didn't get in. And you can only assume that it was because of affirmative action because they have such a large Asian population that they want to admit other people.
Yeah, I was gonna actually.
It isn't because the Asians are way smarter than most people, especially when it comes to the field of technology. And, you know, it's amazing to me that if you see, like, anything technological, Asians dominate, right? And for some reason, that's a fucking problem, right? But if black people dominate, say, the athletic field, that's totally fine. If you see Jews dominate the finance and entertainment sector, and also the news and information, ADL, that's totally, okay, the ADL not so much because they can fuck off, then that's a problem. And like, why is it that when certain people are in this sort of field where they can excel, as long as it's black, it's totally fine, but if everybody else is not in there, then that's somehow bad. I would like someone to explain that one to me, because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Actually argue that it's more racist nowadays because it excludes so many Asian Americans from getting into universities who do deserve a spot and they can't get in because of affirmative action, which again, like you were saying, was necessary at the time. But now it's like anybody, if you have the skills to do it and you're in America, you can get in.
I don't think affirmative action is the worst thing, considering all the different types or aspects of a background you might take into account when somebody's getting into college, whether they
none of that should be taken into account. It should be your grades and grades only.
They were in certain clubs, you know, Boy Scouts, what type of classes they took, that might not be available to everybody. I don't think that factoring in the affirmative action is necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like because of everything you guys have said, the optics behind it are so horrible today that even if it is slightly beneficial in the long run for certain people, I think we can probably refocus most of that into figuring out like the class that people come from, the neighborhoods, the backgrounds or whatever, without it having to necessarily target race. The only thing that I kind of wonder now that it's gone is instead of a black person being in school thinking like, man, am I here because I'm an affirmative action pick, is it going to be a kid that is poor or a kid that's from a different zip code?
I think we should do away with all of it. It's just like submit an application, no demographics. Why do they ask your sexuality? Like why do they ask all that stuff?
Wow, like the white liberal chick has actually got some sense. God damn.
So, if affirmative action accomplished its purpose, why do we still see the disparities that we do in the professional workplace?
Oh my fucking... I am just... I want to... throttle this fucker very, very badly. Like, how... Okay, let me explain this to you, you fucking retard, okay? If you have a group of people getting into college, right, and one of them has a lower standard for entry than another group, if they all exit from the same fucking class and they graduate, why in the hell would I choose from the lower echelon when the upper echelon is the reason why they're fucking there? If you like people who can barely graduate, like fucking blacks, for example, and versus Asians from the same class, and the Asians are the upper echelon, why in the fucking hell would I hire the bottom class when I know they had a lower grade to fucking get into the class to begin with? Do you understand that? No, I imagine you probably don't.
If you average white wealth and compare it to black wealth totals, white people as a whole have about 50 times greater wealth than black people as a whole.
Yeah, but that doesn't really tell me anything.
Per capita. So I just don't understand why you think...
Would you mind telling us Asian household wealth and why that's higher than white?
Affirmative action has accomplished its purpose. I don't see that.
Curious, why do you assume that just because there is a disparity means it's because of a racial issue?
Everyone is going to end up liking this chick. I can feel it.
What else would it be from?
I mean...
upbringing.
Let's see. You literally think the only reason why there's disparity is racism? Again, if Asians do better, does that mean it's because the system is discriminating against whites? God, this man is a fucking idiot.
Economic abilities,
Desire to
skills.
go, desire to.
I mean,
So
zip
it
code
was their
does
fault
play
then.
a lot. If you grow up in a neighborhood that experiences a lot of trauma, you're not as likely to do as well in school, which means you're.
Why did they grow up in a neighborhood that experiences a lot of trauma?
Because their parents fuck indiscriminately and because the state is giving them welfare. That is the reason why. God damn, this man is gonna piss me the fuck off.
I mean, lots of people do.
Yes,
live in
but
a-
why specifically do more black people?
Government assistance programs.
Government
Thank
assistance
you.
programs like what?
Try redlining.
I mean, you can go into that if you'd like to, but let's take a
I like the way that if certain people have low fucking credit scores and they can't get on the economic ladder and they do not practice, I don't know, responsible sex, marriage rates, like that might be a reason why bad habits get passed from generation to generation and people don't succeed. That might be a reason. No, it's literally only racism. Okay, fucking imbecile.
Is
look
relevant.
at the Great Societies Act, which was created to kick black fathers out of the home and get black mothers on welfare assistance. These things aren't beneficial for economics. These things aren't beneficial for actually paving a way for success for black children and black families. I mean, reducing a 2-family household to a 1-family household isn't going to make them the richest man in the world. It isn't even going to get them out of high school. Nonetheless,
You mean
the ability
parent.
to even get to college.
You mean
Yeah,
two-parent?
the child, yes, but a 2-parent household
Yeah.
in comparison to a 1-parent household, that child is not going to be nearly as successful. That child is more disposed to being sent into prison by doing crimes or not doing very well in school. So how are they even supposed to get that, that wealth disparity shrunk if they aren't even able to get out of the community that is causing these problems for them?
Something I think that this conversation illustrates is that like affirmative action is literally the very end of the line of a lot of different parts of a person's life. And by that point, trying to rectify all of the inequities that have existed, to try to remedy any of that at the very end with affirmative action, it might just be too broad a brush. And maybe we'd be better served focusing on the earlier issues than trying to throw a kid who maybe can barely read at a 6th grade level into a college to hope that that's the thing that fixes the problem at the end of the line.
I think
That is like an actually sensible thing that Destiny just said. I actually agree with that. Although the thing that you might want to realize is that government sucks at everything, fucks up everything, and that holding black people to a lower standard is just kind of insulting. Because they can't actually level up with everybody else, because they're not actually stupid, despite what the fuck the white liberals think.
think affirmative action wasn't really supposed to like send kids to
Fucking discount Willa Yankovic over here.
Harvard that weren't prepared to go to Harvard. I think that's quite a myth, in fact. I think those
Not if you look at test scores, my dude.
that have the qualities to get to Harvard were, before affirmative action, could just completely overlooked,
That's actually statistically not true.
Clarence Thomas is like the perfect example, regardless of what you think about him. He was able to get to Harvard because of affirmative action, because,
And so in the absence of affirmative action, he wouldn't have been able to? It's kind of a claim to make.
it focused on finding people that were, again, like just overlooked for those.
But things ended up changing. It morphed into something else. So what started out as a good program of giving all black people or people with a lesser chance or lesser opportunity, it started out as that, and then it morphed and I'm not sure who morphed it, but it morphed into, okay, so now we
Democrats.
have to have one black, one Hispanic, one this, one that.
That's not how that works.
But hey, talk to the corporations, talk to the people who hire, talk to the board members who say we need to have a woman on the board, we need to have a black on the board, we need to have a Latina, a Latinx, whatever, on the board. So it morphed from helping us into now,
Tokenization.
yes, so you have to have one of this, one of that.
Diversity hire.
Well, when you start with a country where people only hire you if you're white, that's necessary. And I know that you said that it started good and then ended whatever. And I don't think that affirmative action was perfect by any measure.
By the way, you literally had better hiring for blacks during the Great Depression before the minimum wage. So the idea that this is going to be a problem with affirmative action when that came like 3 decades later is kind of upset. I get the impression you know fuck all about the United States history of politics, my dude.
But we still see really, really bad inequality. So if you're going
Yes, and the 3 black people just told you why.
to get rid of affirmative action, what's the replacement?
meritocracy.
Why does it need a replacement? It's like this is like the stupidest argument. Thomas Sowell said this once. If we get rid of cancer, what do you replace it with? It doesn't need a replacement. It just needs to fuck off. Yeah, like, this man is gonna make me swear a lot.
Is people need to.
There's no meritocracy in this country.
Yes, there is.
Look at Elon Musk. He's destroying Twitter. There's no.
Oh my. Oh. Oh, God, this man is a walking fucking cliche. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Your best example is Twitter. Like, really? My God, I feel like everything about this guy's personality was just summed up by that one fucking statement. Oh my fucking God.
No meritocracy. That's ridiculous.
Well, first thing I want to bounce back to is it's not a myth that there are like minorities that are being put into colleges that they're not ready for. If you look at a lot of these top universities, including Harvard, Yale, etc., you're going to see a lot of
I could make a video just making fun of this guy. Jesus fucking Christ.
minorities on academic probation because they are being placed in universities that they are not ready for. They are not cut out for that just yet. And it even just makes sense if you look at how much they have to achieve in order to get there. Asian students on average have to score 450 points higher than a black student in order to get in the same university. So if you think of the universities that have courses, etc., that grade on a curve, you can only have so many people with an A, so many people with a B, etc. So that means that the bottom percentile is going to fail. Who is most likely, just based on logic, going to be the ones failing? It's going to be the people who didn't have the credentials to get there in the first place. And then I have to bounce back to.
I want to get you on that point because I would posit that the people who are least likely to have good outcomes in an academic setting are those who have to work 2 jobs, are those who have to drive there from home because they can't afford a dorm, are those who have to go into crippling financial debt. These are and have other stresses in their life. They can't afford a doctor, they can't afford a dentist, they can't afford anything.
I had to do
so
that too, though.
Those are the
That's
people.
not just black people. It's not just.
But it's
If we're looking at
overwhelmingly.
straight numbers, there are more white people in poverty than black people.
If you look at the raw numbers, but if you
I don't know,
actually
what are the
understand
wrong
what you're talking
numbers?
about.
No
The
number
issue
is
is poverty
wrong.
in general, though. I don't think it's like who's in poverty. It's like poverty sucks. It
Maybe we
shouldn't
should make
matter
college
who's in it.
free, and maybe we want to have affirmative action wouldn't be that necessary.
And it'll get even more ghetto.
If you have a program that says if you are under a certain income level, this is how we'll help you.
This guy's like painfully retarded. Like his stupidity and just DNC talking points is legitimately pissing me the fuck off.
That will overwhelmingly help black people at a far greater percentage.
Dude, no one is going to listen to your redneck dumbass when it comes to helping black people. You've literally not said a single fucking thing correct.
And it will help white people.
Trump supports Black lives.
Yeah, he does. The black vote is going to get him elected.
I think that President Trump supports all lives. I think that he looks at all American citizens as equal. I don't see him doing anything that would make you feel like he does not support Black lives. That's of course going to lead into the conversation of Black Lives Matter, which was a movement and an organization with so much corruption. Donald Trump not
Of course, it was headed by women.
supporting that organization doesn't mean that he doesn't support Black lives. It just means that he doesn't support the fraudulent organization that's stealing so much money from so many people to do absolutely nothing with it, nor does he support a destructive movement that is destroying cities, communities, lives.
Have you guys noticed how much more articulate and calm the conservatives are? Like, they are very, very well versed in their trade and they know what the fuck is up, and the white liberals have no fucking idea. It's just talking points and shit.
Etc. So I don't see why someone would think that President Trump doesn't support Black lives.
I've heard him say he knows all the best black people. He has all the best black friends.
Don't ever do that
I
again.
do support black people all the time. So
Why does he
sorry,
sound
that was a very
Jamaican?
bad impression, but,
I agree. Yes, it's terrible.
I don't think Donald Trump wants bad things to happen to black people. So in that respect, I think he does support Black lives. But the other side of that is he's not really doing anything. He didn't do anything as president, certainly, to uplift black people.
Yeah, actually he did. Like, the highest minority employment rate was because of his presidency.
Economy affects black people.
Yeah, I certainly disagree with that point. One of the biggest things I
What does he do for the
supported
economy?
personally. Well, yeah.
Okay, the fact that you just asked what did Trump do for the economy tells me you get the fuck out of this conversation right now. You are a dillweed jackass and you know nothing. Why are you even here? Do they just need like a token white moron? Because my good God, you're fucking the epitome of white liberalism is this fucking jackass right here. He hasn't said anything true. He knows nothing about politics. Why are you here?
We'll get into that one later. One of the biggest things he did is he secured permanent funding for HBCUs, one of the largest increases we ever saw for HBCUs, personally done by his administration, among many other things.
God damn.
The First Step Act, which, there's a lot of debate about whether it was really the best thing to do, but that was definitely a kiss of love to the black race. Freeing Alice Johnson for menial drug crimes she committed in the past that had her locked up. She did not get to see her family for years.
Yeah, but that's not like, okay, I did say I agree, but I agree in the sense that Donald Trump doesn't literally want bad things to happen to black people, like I think a lot of conservatives do. So
okay. Where is this going?
I think that he just says the most yeah, I do think that. I think he says the things that will get him elected. So,
Yeah, that's literally every politician, my dude.
so I don't think that he has any personal grudges against most people. He just says the most popular thing. So I think like Ron DeSantis would be somebody that I think actually wants black people to be hurt. So by that standard, yeah, Donald Trump
You trying to say that Ron DeSantis is more radical than Trump? What the fuck are you talking about?
supports black lives by leaps and bounds.
You think Donald Trump says the most popular thing?
Yeah,
Really?
yes.
Then why do so many people hate him?
He got elected as president.
Yes, he did.
But that does not answer the question.
Yeah,
He didn't win the popular vote neither time.
that's a
That's
liberal
what your
talking
side
point.
likes to say.
That's
Yeah.
a liberal talking
I'm
point.
helping you here. I'm trying to see the logic in this. Obviously, he's
There's no logic in this, my dude. There's none.
says things to be elected as a politician very similarly to how Joe Biden did, except Joe Biden actually has a history of racism.
If he said things that people didn't like, he wouldn't have been our president.
So you like everything that Donald Trump said?
No, I think he means things that the status quo doesn't like. Regular people like him. The status quo fucking hates his guts.
You think everything he says is popular?
I love a lot of the things he says. I think he's hilarious. When he said big water, that was one of my favorite quotes. Big water.
Water, big water, ocean water.
He has the funniest one-liners, so I love a lot of the things he says. As far as policy, he sucks, but...
I'm just shocked you're wearing a Hunter Biden hat. He likes a different kind of one line.
Oh, he's...
Oof. God damn, that was a good joke. Nice shot, dude.
I know, conservatives love talking about his...
No, Coke. It's different. Coke.
Did you see him in his dick? Oh my... How do you not know he meant drugs? You don't even need to do drugs to know he meant coke. You fucking... Oh, God help me. God help me.
Trump is less of the issue and more so the people that support him, like Die Hard. They facilitate that kind of like hate, I think, for a lot
For who?
of people, not just black people, but like
By saying what? You realize if there's other black conservatives, we don't have a problem with them, right? Like the guy who said like the N-word for Trump, everyone who is white likes the fuck out of that dude because he's based as shit. Where is this hatred for black people? They don't hate black people, they just hate people that have shitty, dumb attitudes and crappy behavior habits. There's nothing to do with race. It's literally just, can you behave like a civilized person? If you're a jackass, get the fuck out of here. Conservatives are the easiest people in the world to get along with. Just don't be a fucking jackass, don't talk out of turn, get a job, and don't be a fuckhead. Like, it's very easy to get along with them.
I mean, this man took out like a full page in a newspaper calling for the public execution of 5 black kids. His hotels, all of his businesses have rampant history of denying black people apartments or whatever. So
Yeah, it's because they have crappy histories. It's not because they're black.
I forgot about that. I should not have stepped forward.
Look, I mean, Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump.
So does every fucking politician. Look at them all.
So I don't think he really cares about anyone, I guess, unless you're like super rich or whatever.
When you look at his history on racial...
If he only cared about the super rich, he wouldn't be so popular with regular people. That doesn't make any fucking sense, my dude.
issues, whether it's the shithole countries comment, the plethora of comments he made about Mexican people.
Those are all based and true.
Just the comments he's made about Muslims, the idea that Trump
Still
cares
true.
at all about some particular racial minority, I think is a little bit silly. I think Trump will say whatever he needs to say to rile up his base and to get elected.
Which is what every fucking politician does.
I don't necessarily think those statements come from a place of hatred. I don't think he was ever saying specifically, oh, if you pray 5 times a day towards the east or towards Mecca based on wherever you are, you're a bad person. I think he was saying if you like to fly planes into towers or behead people or throw people off of buildings, maybe you're not the most virtuous person out there.
I supported Trump because
I hate the sharp cuts because you know once they do that, the bits that were really good, they will never fucking show. Like, you guys do realize when they do these kind of shows, the show is usually like 5 hours, right? That's 5 hours. Okay, so that's over like 300 minutes. And they only do 40. I should let you know like how much of this has been cut.
he made the economy good. And so the economy then impacted black people, white people, Latino people, it impacted everybody. But Trump, he didn't think specifically, I don't think, about black people. He thought about himself, and he thought about how can I make America great for me, and making and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go with this guy, and the reason I'm gonna go with this guy is because if he can make America great and he can make that it rise for everybody, I'm gonna benefit from that. So that
yes, like if you have a massive amount of hotels and real estate, and you want people to get involved into your businesses and actually patron them, it would help if the people actually have money to do so. It's like one argument for like the monarch caring about like the real estate of the nation is because it would behoove your own pocket. Why is that bad?
That's why I went, and that's why I voted for him. That's why I supported him.
How does that specifically benefit black people?
Because black people are also part of the economy, you dumbass. I'm sorry I'm using that phrase so much, but like I'm running out of ways to call these people thick and dense. This is... You have 3 or 4 conservatives who actually know policy, and then you have a bunch of leftists who know nothing. They know nothing other than talking points. You can see they know there's no political acumen at fucking all. None. Not a shred.
Again, he's a businessman, but he's also a racist businessman.
Oh my fucking god. Like, liberalism is a fucking cancer on the mind. Do you know anything that isn't the cliche talking points that's been debunked like 6 fucking years ago? Like, this is like, I hate the fact that you are the same race as I am. You're embarrassing. Please change it.
Like, well documented.
Become like a mermaid and fuck off underwater.
So like, I just...
and Biden's not? Biden's not?
Yes, he is. He created the crime bill. So that's...
You realize the crime bill actually was liked by black people. Because here's the thing, black people want to feel safe. They don't really give a flying crap who's in jail as long as they themselves are safer. Like, that's something that a lot of even conservatives will not admit. But like, the tough on... I like the when they say, be tough on crime. But then if there was a tough on crime Democrat in the 90s and they think that's bad, I'm like, no, conservatives, you can't have it both ways. If it's tough on crime, then you have to praise the tough on crime when there was a need to be tough on crime. I hate it when some conservatives say, oh, look, Biden was a tough on crime bill. Like, motherfucker, the tough on crime bill was necessary back then. Even you would fucking admit it. If the Republicans did that shit, you would fucking praise it. But when it's a Democrat doing it, now you suddenly have an issue. Like, no, fuck off. Don't play this fucking game. If it's a good policy, fucking do good policy. And shut up with your bloody politics.
But that's regardless of the point.
Address the Central Park 5. That's what you brought up, right? Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Well,
he took
actually,
a full page out after they were
so I haven't
He wanted them to be killed.
Well,
executed. Just because they were black.
That story.
And he bars people from attending his businesses or like renting apartments from all his like stupid Trump towers. I just like...
shitty.
I think Trump at that point was, like many people in this room, particularly liberals, a victim of the media. I think he was scared. I think he was ashamed of the things that he heard in the news and wanted to take action himself as a businessman, not as a racist.
Why are you infantilizing him?
I don't like also...
Why are you infantilizing him? Yes, because this is something that very much... something that is infantilized would try and do. Take matters into their own hands. Like, dude, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Real quick, because people keep bringing up this comparison to the '93 crime bill from Biden. That crime bill, this was at the height of like violent crime and the crack epidemic in the United States. The Congressional Black Caucus supported that crime bill. Everybody in the United States supported that crime bill. The idea that crime...
Wow, I'm actually agreeing with Destiny for once. Holy shit. He's making my point.
bill was like some racist piece of legislation that Biden was just wheeling out because he hates black people, and that's somehow comparable to the Donald Trump's treatment of the Central Park Five that were already exonerated. That wasn't a victim of the media. The media said they were done. They were exonerated in court. They weren't there.
As I understand it, the prosecutor of the five, he was a black guy, and so in being a black guy, he went and he looked at all the evidence and said these guys are guilty.
Black people.
I hate this way that there's like this massive unification among black people, especially among the liberal minds, that all black people think the same. Like, I just hate the way that it's so nakedly racist that they can't fucking see it. It's like, dude, how do you not fucking see this?
People can also be racist against other black people.
Or just make mistakes.
Wait, did he just say? Hold on, I have to go back. Did he say what I just think he
was
said?
a black guy, and so in being a black guy, he went and he looked at all the evidence and said these guys are guilty.
Black people can also be racist against other black people.
My patience, my patience is. Black people can be racist against other. Do you know what racism means? I get the impression you probably don't. I get the impression you don't really know much of anything. I'm amazed you can fucking breathe, my dude. Do you understand? It's the belief that you're better than somebody else on race. Black on black crime is not racism. Do you understand that? Right? I need more whiskey for this.
Just make mistakes.
So if anybody does anything you disagree with in regards to the Central Park Five, even if they themselves are a black person, they're just a self-loathing black person, they're just a racist black person.
If they disagree with me, they're
that prosecutor
racist.
was doing his job.
That's my policy. If they disagree with me, they're racist.
I like that.
I think Trump has.
I can't tell if he's serious or joking. Because that's something that is so monumentally stupid to say, but he is very stupid.
Shown a history of ignorant at best and racist at worst behavior. I didn't vote for him or Hillary because I just don't see him as a conservative hero. I don't even think he's a conservative.
Fake
personally.
conservative. I voted Trump in 2016, just so you all know. So I'm just saying.
So I need you to elaborate on.
Why did you vote for Trump in 2016 but Biden in 2020? Like, who the hell? Well, okay, what pussy did you try and pull that fucked with your head? Because I guarantee you it was a chick. I will bet my bollocks it was a bitch who fucked with this jackass's head. Because there's no way in hell you are sane enough to vote for Trump in 2016 and Biden in 2020. No fucking way in hell. Someone fucked with you.
If people disagree with you, they're racist, just in general.
I was just kidding.
He's just yeah.
You never know.
Just like
One
the
of those
hat.
kind of moments.
Sorry if I triggered you. I'm sorry.
You made
No,
a
I'm not
point.
triggered. I just
You made a
need to know.
point
Okay.
a couple minutes.
No one is triggered by you. Enraged, yes. But not like emotion triggers. More like your stupidity is.
It's back where you said he just kind of says these things to rile up his base.
Yeah, because he does.
Why does he need to do that at the expense of black people then?
He does.
Can you guys give me any time where Trump riled up his base at the expense of black people? Because I've watched a lot of Trump, many hours. I can't think of a single instance.
Do that at the. I am a member of his base, and I'm sitting there like, oh man, this is amazing. And I don't know, you can call me self-loathing, you can call me self-hating,
so you're
you can call
saying
me
calling
racist.
for the public execution of 5 black men that were exonerated to
When
rile
has he
up
done
his
that
base?
during the campaign trail? He didn't do that when he was a politician.
Well,
He did that when he
again,
was a
it's
scared businessman
everything.
in New York.
It's
feeling
everything
bad.
Steve said about the comments about Muslims, the comments about
The comments about Muslim was true.
Mexican immigrants.
That was also true. Look at them fucking right now.
Why does
Never
he need,
about Mexican immigrants, never about Muslims, about terrorists and about criminals and rapists. These are very important delineations to make, and if you believe
I
that
think
what
you
fed the media
understand,
about,
or
oh, it's
I
all
think
Mexican immigrants, I think it's more of you being, oh man, oh, these poor Mexicans, they need to be supported. It's more of that savior complex. Wow,
What was
we're
the
back
rationale
again.
behind axing or trying to axe DACA? These people were registered with the federal government, they were in school, they were doing everything that they needed to do. They had no home elsewhere. They were brought into this country as minors. Like, what's the explanation for that?
I think that requires more nuance. Like I mentioned before, I
already
think there were some
paid for their
people.
education.
I think
Why
there
would
were
you
some
wanna kick
people
them out?
feeding him bad policy advice, thinking, "Oh, this will be really good for your base," and he's doing a lot as a
Just
president.
That's okay.
him.
That's okay if we feel that way. But
So,
at the end of
if I take responsibility for something, if I say he has responsibility for something, well then you're right. But if I'm saying, well, maybe there are some people around him advising him falsely,
Dude,
it's infantilizing.
He
him.
was the president.
There's no good way.
Do you you understand that the president has advisors? Why is this guy here? I have seen a lot of these shows, and this guy's stupidity is like, fuck. Like, do you vet these people before they come on your show? Because my God.
He called the shots.
Yes, and there's advisors that also help people. It's not just a fucking, like, he's not a king. Fuck, I wish he was.
What are you talking about?
The only path forward to solving illegal immigration starts with amnesty for everybody here.
No, it doesn't, Destiny. It starts with massive amounts of deportation, you fucking lunatic. What the hell are you talking about?
The reality is there's some 10 to 15 million illegal immigrants here. We're not deporting them all.
With the people
How do you know that?
who are already here,
Have you tried?
that's a lot more of a messy, nuanced conversation. But as far as people coming,
How about you get the army involved and you just massively deport them? I mean, I'm pretty sure your military is massively in need of doing something. Plus, it would make them really, really upset having to deport minorities, considering how fucking woke the military is. It's not a bad idea, actually.
again, I do think we need stronger borders and actual like vetting happening.
And I just want to say, in Ronald Reagan's day, he was given the promise. He said, look, if you go ahead and you pass this particular bill, we'll give these people amnesty and we're done. And it didn't happen. We didn't. Illegal immigration continued even after Reagan already said we will give these people amnesty. So that's why we get a burr up our butt, because he had already done it.
Hopefully the devil's giving him amnesty.
True.
That's terrible.
No, that's base. Thank you.
Tasteless.
Wow.
The devil's giving them an amnesty? Oh my God.
Ninth circle, baby.
My political beliefs have changed from the past.
Okay, that one white dude needs to then sit on the other side because he said he voted for Trump in 2016. So if he doesn't, he's a fucking liar.
I grew up in a conservative household, actually, in Ohio. And my parents were always pretty political, so I
Clearly not enough.
always stayed political. I was very religious as a teenager. Sometime
And then a bitch fucked with your head and made you stupid as shit.
during college and then afterwards, especially during COVID, my sister actually indoctrinated me into...
Oh! It was a sister. I fucking told you it was a woman. Didn't I fucking call her people? I am a god. Please bow down and kiss my ass.
a more leftist position.
I fucking told you it's always a fucking woman.
And I overcorrected a little bit. I started becoming pretty cringy as far as like, you know.
What you mean becoming cringy? You're still fucking cringy now, my dude. Oh my God. I'm fucking good. I told you.
Sit down and let the minorities all talk, right? Don't
let the minorities talk. Do you realize how fucking condescending that sounds? Jeez, oh my God. Oh. I'm trying very hard to stay calm because, like, in my head, there's a lot of rage. Like, I just want to fucking yell.
Don't say anything, don't speak over them, etc. They would, you know, it was like the whole you can't speak over Candace Owens even if she's literally a Nazi kind of thing.
You don't know what a Nazi is. I don't even think you know. I don't even think you know how to spell fascism. I don't think you know anything about the history of fascism. Or communism, for that fucking matter.
So, I stand by that. So, yeah, I kind of leveled out, thankfully, and I'm less cringe now. And
No.
Are you?
I cringe.
Kind of thing. So,
what's your two black guys? This is funny as shit.
Don't say anything, don't speak over them, etc. They would, you know, it was like the whole you can't speak over Candace Owens even if she's literally a Nazi kind of thing. So, I stand by that. So, yeah, I kind of leveled out,
You shouldn't.
thankfully, and I'm less cringe now. And
Did you? Are you?
I cringed.
This is leveled out. Imagine if we would have been here a year ago.
you can, I mean, maybe I am being cringe. Who cares?
So I grew up conservative, but I did have more left-leaning ideas about like Black Lives Matter and critical race theory, and I was watching a lot of YouTube, and you know, I did agree that Black people were oppressed and all of these different things, and that we were kind of got the short end of the stick. And during 2020, when there was, you know, everything crazy was happening, and I started organizing rallies against the mandates because I thought that they were just totally unconstitutional and un-American.
They are.
And then George Floyd dies, and initially I was like enraged like everybody else, and then it started to become this weird like political like agenda masquerading or behind his face. Like it just, the face of what was actually happening started to peel off, and I was like, oh, I mean, I would counter-protest BLM activists at my town square when I lived in Texas, and they were some of the most just bitter, vile, horrible people you could ever meet. Meanwhile, like the Confederate group that would protest there against them also, they were like the nicest people ever to me, ironically.
I grew up in a Democrat.
Yes, it's because they look at you and just think, wow, a sane black woman that is not hell-bent on destroying everything around her. We should bring her into our group because she seems cool. That's literally it. Like, all the people that get called racist, ironically, tend to be very nice if you just don't behave like an asshole around them. They're very easy to get along with. Or should I say we, because I'm technically part of the group.
Not a Democratic household, but kind of apolitical, but everybody was Democrat. And then I got a job. And when I got a job and I saw all the taxes come out and I started looking to the left and to the right and going, oh, my money's whittling away over here. And I said, you know what? After Reagan, I'm just going to go ahead and declare myself a Republican. And I've been a Republican ever since.
My mom.
Ah, yes. As soon as they see the money and they see what the fucking state is like, who do I vote for to get more of my own money?
Mom is pretty liberal. She married my stepdad when I was like 15, 16 in high school, and he's super conservative, like loved Trump, diehard Trump fan.
Based.
And they had a lot of like back and forth, hearing the two sides, like people who are on such polar opposites just like argue all the time about stuff, seeing that there's a lot of similarities in both sides, like the far radical left and the far radical right, they have a lot of similarities. They just don't want to come and like see it.
I started off.
Actually, they do. It's why it's funny. We see it all the fucking time. Like, both are for segregation, just in very, very different ways. But ultimately, it's like, yes, one thing's like, these people are stupid, get them the fuck away from us. And the other people are like, you're dangerous, get the fuck away from us. Like, yeah, if you want to think that way, feel free. Like, the one person, like, oh, I'll tell you guys, this is something I want to do a video on because I saw this, and this is one of the funniest fucking things I've seen in a long time. You guys know Akon, the musician? He says that all black people should move to Africa because if they do, he will make them a millionaire, and the entire US economic system would collapse in a day if black people were to move. I just laughed my ass over that. Like, black people are like, what, 15-16% of the US population? You think if black people were to vanish, the US economy would collapse? Really? Like, of all the things that would collapse, the economy is not one that I think would collapse. I think crime rates would. Violent crime rate, definitely. Theft would definitely drop. Literacy rates that would go up. Single motherhood rate would massively drop. Marriage rates would on average be much higher. Test scores would go up. Fucking Christ.
Actually, kind of similar to you. I went to a Jesuit high school. I grew up very conservative. My mom is Cuban, so ride or die Bush supporter, who is now a ride or die Trump supporter. I think the point of my life.
Wow, you actually like a based female in your family? What the hell happened to you? You get all the soy from your dad?
I was the most like libertarian, was probably the lowest point of my life financially. And I think it's because something that conservatives do really well is they make you feel like you can always like succeed as long as you work hard enough.
Yes, that is literally how hard work works.
And that's something that progressives and liberals suck at. That you're a victim of systemic racism, you're black, so you're going to be discriminated against, you're a woman, so nobody's going to care about your feelings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas Republicans will tell you, listen, if you work hard, you can do whatever you want, like just as long as you're willing to put in the work. And I felt that way up to the moment where I was losing my house, where I had an ex-girlfriend that was pregnant, where I had been fired from my previous job. There was a whole bunch of horrible stuff going on in my life, and I very, very luckily got into online content creation. And from there, as I started to make more money, I started to pay more taxes. When I get older and I look at taxes that come out of my paycheck, I care a little bit, but it was just so funny to me that back when I was making $15,000, $20,000 a year, I'm like, I gotta vote for the lower tax bracket, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm barely paying any taxes anyways. And now that I'm older, like if the government wants to take, a few, 10, 20, whatever, how many more $1,000 out.
You just said you worked hard.
I did, but I got very, very, very lucky doing so. Very lucky.
You think it's just luck?
It's not just luck, but the difference is that born into a wealthier family, you can make so many more mistakes in life. And when you're born poor, you get like 1 or 2 before your life is over. And that's really sad to me.
Yeah, so
Yes, and you know what's the way to stop that? Is to stop fucking when you don't have money, you dumbass. Teach your kids not to have sex when they don't have the capacity to produce and take care of a child. I would think that's like the minimum thing you teach a fucking child when they grow up. My good God. Like what was the thing that Larry Elder said? Graduate high school, get a job, and don't produce a kid before you get married. That's like the 3 things you need to do to not be poor. God damn it.
I used to be a liberal. I voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016, as much as I regret that now. My family was pretty left-wing.
Don't worry, dude. There's a lot of people that like Bernie in 2016. And then once Hillary shafted him, everyone got on board the Trump train. And then we just went, hey, look, Trump won. This is going to be funny as shit. We had no idea what the hell he was going to do because he was a complete wild card. I mean, I liked Bernie in 2016. And then I wanted Trump to win because I hated Hillary. I think Hillary Clinton is like a demonic demon from hell. I literally think she's like walking Satan. I legitimately think she's the reptile, evil, sadistic bitch. And when he won, I had no idea what to expect. And I just thought, like, okay, well, now he can run the country. And if he's good, he'll be voted in again. If he isn't, he won't be. I was very naive at the time. And I started paying attention to Trump. Because I always feel like this guy's a horrible racist. And I watched the debates. That was not really a vibe I got from him. I just thought like he's kind of a funny troll. And then when I saw the policies come in, I'm like, wow, he's actually a good president. Like, okay. And then I just saw the news, like, hate the guy. And I thought, isn't your job to report when the country is going well? All I see from conservative news is focused on policy. And you fuckwits are, all you're focusing on is how he talks. Like, even someone like me who was not very politically active or aware at the time, even I could see, okay, there's something very wrong here. And this is kind of weird. And the more I just saw the news, I'm like, okay, you people are clearly not even living on planet Earth, and these people focus on policy. Like, I'm looking at the dollar, I'm looking at the energy dependence, I'm looking at the state of the world. I can't find anything that he's doing that I particularly hate him for. He seems to be doing a pretty good job, all things considering, and then that slowly made me more right-wing. Not because of what anything Trump was doing was particularly great, it's just that the people who were against him were completely fucking insane.
Some of the people in my family were,
and I still think this now.
Would refer to white people as blue-eyed, red-headed devils, things of that nature. And as I got older, I actually started being really outspoken.
You're sitting across from them right now, my dude.
For BLM, I was supposed to be on a reality show teaching people how to be a BLM activist. At the time, I did a deep dive on BLM.
Basically be a criminal, yeah.
And I started to realize all of these lies. So then I took a step back. I'm like, okay, what else am I being lied to about? And I started looking at the Democratic Party and questioning my own loyalty to being on the left.
I personally think both sides tend to be racist in different ways. I don't think the government is on the side of the people in general, and that's just me being, a
Okay, yes, you're becoming more attractive every time you talk, my dear.
radical.
When I was young, I used to jump for joy and say, oh yeah, Obama, black president, that's so amazing. He's the same color as me. But when I started to do more research, one of the biggest things I was confused about is, well, why is he a Democrat? What is a Democrat? I did more research about the Democrat Party. And sure, you guys are going to pop off about the head saying, oh, there's a party switch in the Southern strategy and all these things.
Which is true.
Which you may say is true. I don't believe it is true at all.
You're
I
wrong.
understand, you may think I'm wrong.
You are.
However, one of the biggest questions I had was, why is Obama in the same party as the people that started the KKK, the same people that voted against the Civil Rights Act, the same people that are on the news talking about...
I mean, voting against the Civil Rights Act is kind of based. Because the Civil Rights Act was shit.
How black people aren't able to accomplish anything and need to be on welfare and need to be promoted with affirmative action and things of that nature.
I think even Larry Elder said the Civil Rights was a mistake.
I also, in terms of, I guess, my political journey, I was raised conservative, actually. And then high school became, I guess, sort of apolitical. And then throughout college and I guess just throughout my life since then, I think I guess you can call me a progressive, you can call me, socialist, whatever you, but I guess that's, in the area of where I fall. You said that you were a Bernie fan in 2016, and then you transitioned to being, I guess, more conservative. I guess, I don't know, to me, Bernie Sanders, from what he said
He's a socialist shithead.
to what you think now, what was the shift?
For me, it was socialism, because back then I was a very broke college kid, and I just had this mentality that everything should be free, and I was feeling a bit entitled, like everything should be handed to me because I was black, because I was very much in that mentality. As I learned more about free markets, as I learned more about capitalism, I started to appreciate that much more. I started to appreciate small business much more, limited government, low regulations. I just started to...
I like the way that as soon as you learn more shit, you become more conservative. She's really telling you something about it. Only smart people can be conservative. Only idiots are leftists.
like that much more. But I would say just more when it comes to economics, I don't agree with him.
Reparations are necessary.
Get all the black people like, no. Well, of course, that guy, he's a fucking moron who just said give black people more money, which tells me he doesn't know a damn thing about economics.
When we talk about reparations, I think that doing reparations in the way that a lot of people think of it, where we just give it to black people, I'm not an expert on this.
The way that he's talking is like he's blind.
But I think it would be more...
I know that's like a weird thing to say, but his head bobbing is fucking weird.
Income-based, and that in itself, like I said earlier, would disproportionately benefit black people, because if you recognize that they are disproportionately affected by...
Wait, are the two liberal dudes arguing with each other? Okay, this should be weird.
Then doing it on like a class level would uplift proportionally more black people than white people or any other race.
Yeah, I think like mostly like black GIs that were left out of like the New Deal, for instance.
Oh, the New Deal was fucking terrible for everyone involved. New Deal was shit.
That to be able to come back and as a white American, as a white veteran, to get a home loan and then build that generational wealth, you could not get that as a black American. So there needs to be, I think, reparations. I don't care really what form it comes from. I think free healthcare, free college, so that everyone has like an equal opportunity to educate themselves, to build a better life for themselves.
You do realize you can give people equal access. It doesn't mean that they will equally take advantage of it or produce the same fucking outcomes. Do you jackasses actually understand that different groups of people, different races especially, have different cultures and different values? So this one-size-fits-all thing to make society better is not going to fucking work. I mean, like, how basic of an understanding is your very concept of human psychology and culture? To think this way, to me, is the thinking of a Neanderthal. It's the most primitive form of the social engineering that I can possibly conjure up.
So it's sort of like, and I think Germany is also a perfect model to follow.
Germany is a perfect model to follow? Why? Why in fuck's name is Germany a perfect model to follow? Especially not now.
You know, by issuing, first of all, a formal apology, which we haven't even done that.
Oh, fuck off. Like, at this point in time, anyone that says sorry for the past, like, you are a fucking useless cuck, you should fuck off.
But also just like donating to like different funds, and you know, just
there's a reason why that white guy, Albert Schweitzer, said if you see these people as an equal, they will destroy you. Because even me, a white guy, I'm looking at this dude and all I see is fucking weakness. Like, if this was an army and the people were like him, I would conquer the shit out of his land and pillage and rape, this fucking let loose. Obviously not the modern day, obviously I'm speaking in ancient times, but like, this kind of attitude, it would not fly with any civilization. You would get fucking demolished. Like, fucking get real, dude. Like, there's no civilization with this kind of men would survive. They would get culled. Just with a massive invading army would just take these people the fuck out.
I think a more equitable society striving for that.
No, equitable is fuck off.
That is reparations in and of itself.
I have no problems with reparations if they had happened initially during the like slavery or the civil rights movement or any of that. But to try and do that now logistically just doesn't really make any sense. And like, where would this money come from? Like, we're in so much debt as a nation. Would I get this money? I'm biracial or triracial. Like, do mixed people get it? And like, do Irish people get reparations when they were indentured servants?
No, they've already done that good for the world. It's called making alcohol.
For reparations, if you can find specific instances of somebody being like actually deprived of something, whether specific instances of like the
Why does it have to be race? Why does that one? Why can it not be something else? And also, by the way, like if you're gonna do it by slavery, are you gonna basically say, what about the people who were like white that were enslaved? What about the black slave owners? I mean, America's first slave owner was black. I don't know if you know that.
40 acres and a meal promise, or whether you can find specific cases of like Chinese people building railroads or Irish people or whatever, people being deprived of things, that's okay. But otherwise, yeah, it's a logistical nightmare. There's no possible way that we'd be able to do it well.
Yeah, America's unique because we have bent over backwards for decades now, putting minorities in a position of privilege. I feel like we have done so much to give back to the communities that were obviously wrong.
By putting people in privilege, you are just depriving them of standards. That is all that means. Like, the most privileged people in the society are the ones that have no fucking standards, and we all fucking know this. There's a reason that people that have, like, an excessive amount of standards on them, when they actually reach it, there's a reason why they're considered, like, the fucking titans of society. Why do you think Asians kick so much fucking ass? It's because the standards on them are extremely high, and when they meet them, they fucking crush everyone. Like, that's how that works. If you make a high bar and people reach them, those are going to be the best people in your society because they've reached the highest bar. Like,
wronged. And I agree with both of you. Like, had this happened a long time ago, I would understand it. If we had specific incidences that we could trace where people were just completely screwed over, I would respect it. But right now, I don't deserve a payment for something my great-great-great-great-grandparents went through, and I don't think that white people are responsible for paying that to me either.
I know we don't want to use the word virtue signaling, but it's sort of like a bribe for a vote in a way, at least in my opinion. In states like California.
Basically, it's true. That is all it fucking is. Like, look what they try to do in California. How much did the reparations cost? Like 600 billion, and even California were like, yeah, we can't afford this because we're already in a massive amount of fucking debt. And then we're like, yeah, like at the very last minute, like, no, we're gonna like do this. Like, fuck that shit.
Where they've been throwing around the idea of, oh, we want to pay out this much money to every black citizen in there in this state. It's like, oh, are you serious? Because this is kind of like a joke, in my opinion.
I think that if we impose reparations now, I think it would rip America apart. I think that we're already separated enough as it is, and now you're going to have people walking around going, you're
going to have people that are going to identify as black to get fucking money. Like, let's be real. Like, everybody knows that is what would ultimately happen.
owe me money, you owe me money, I'm not paying you any money. It would just really rip us apart.
Giving somebody money doesn't mean anything if they don't know what to do with the money or how to handle the money.
Thank you, very, very based, sane woman. Thank you very much.
So if the primary issue in black culture or with black people is generational trauma, then maybe they need more therapy than they need money.
I like this girl a lot. She's unusually sane for a woman. Very logical. There's like no emotion in her thinking whatsoever. It's like, it's purely logical. It's probably the white part, isn't it?
Honestly.
Which conservatives are also against.
Well, that's kind of my argument. Like, if there is like that, like generational trauma or whatever, like, I think.
How the conservatives haven't like rushed over and punched him is amazing to me. Because if I was sitting there, I would look at this man like, I would be thinking of like things I can't say on this fucking channel.
Examples of like free healthcare. They could see a therapist and not be, fall into debt. And I think the argument of like the logistical.
I get the impression that if black people have any trauma, it's sure as shit it's not because of anything white people have done. Like, fucking get real.
Nightmares of it. I think if we want to pay for something in this country, we usually find a way to do it, especially when it comes to the military.
Yeah, it's usually called massive amounts of debt. Why do you think you're fucking $30 trillion?
So, I mean, we pay for multi-billion-dollar jets all the time.
It's not the dollars, it's who's supposed to get them.
Not to attack progressives, but that is like the most progressive idea in the world. Is like, I can see the headlines like reparations voted on in Congress to be paid in the form of free therapy for people in the hood. That just sounds like
that is legit something that fucking progressives would try and do.
The funniest thing in the world. But
well, I also don't think it's gonna come directly from like, white person to black person. Like, oh, you.
Yeah, no shit. It would come from the state, you dumbass.
your
Fucking
lineage
hell.
affected his lineage.
It is though. Like in San Francisco, they were going to raise the average family, or the average household in San Francisco was expected to pay $600,000 each with the $5 million per black person proposal that they had. And I used to live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I was repulsed by that because you have so many homeless veterans on the streets, and they were going to give black people a home for as little as $1 just for being black. Mind you, slavery wasn't even in California. So why that was going to be the case, like, I don't understand, but it's extremely
because it gets votes.
unrealistic to think that the average family in San Francisco can afford that.
That's because Newsom wants to get reelected.
Told you.
Okay, but you don't really care
Precisely.
about homeless veterans, right?
That's just
you
a
don't
laughable
support
idea.
You don't
I
know
feel like
me.
all your arguments are ad
But
hominem.
you're here
Literally
as a
every
conservative.
single one
But
ad
you're here as a
hominem.
conservative. So what policies do you support for homeless veterans?
There's ways to address, I mean,
Specifically.
for homeless in general,
You have never given a specific policy on fucking anything, my dude. Who the hell are you to suddenly ask this dude to give a policy? First of all, if he gave a policy proposal, I guarantee you would go over your friggin' fat head.
That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah, there we go, case in point.
say that we didn't find a middle ground in there.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I don't think they found a middle ground in anything.
that's a great ending note.
White liberals have a savior complex.
Oh dear God, yes they fucking do. I think even Destiny will agree with that. They do.
Well, I gotta say, this is a shock. I never expected all four of you to just come forward and admit it, but you know what? I'm happy with these results.
I just think it's a lot of people, I guess, people, you know, of the left, whatever, can kind
Are extremely cocked and think that they're better than black people, and you actually think that without you, they would never succeed at anything. I have my own interpretation of that, by the way. I will not share on this video.
of fall into that trap of,
Okay, no, I will. If you have a shitty culture, you learn from a better culture. Like, that's just how any civilization that wants to get better learns. And if that means a different race, then I don't see why that's bad. Again, that is literally how any civilization gets better. If someone does something better than you, then you go learn from them. Why is that bad? Never understood that.
thinking that, you know, black people as a monolith need to be saved as a whole.
I have no shame about it. I have a savior complex as an older brother, and I will save you whether you like it or not. So
I'm having trouble articulating what I'm currently thinking because it does not involve words, only my fists. The insufferable fucking arrogance of this man is just, dear God.
So that's just me.
Well, it's definitely not, because a lot of us are really just exhausted of being viewed as our skin color. Because when you have this mindset that you need to save black people and we're just sitting here minding our own business and living our lives the way we want to, I don't
I don't think he's trolling. I think he's legitimately a twat.
know why it is that people feel this immense pressure to be so apologetic and just always trying to cater and coddle to black people when we just want to be treated
It's because they want power over you. That's the reason why they do that shit.
like everybody else. We're equal for a reason.
I think especially recently with
Oh, that is not my people. Get the fuck out of here, on the ghost though. My people would never say this shit.
a lot of riot stuff that's gone on or protest stuff that's gone on, people on the left tend to infantilize a lot of different types of protesters, and
The glass bottle. I have 17 glass bottles behind me, don't worry.
especially even talking to, you know, some of the other black content creators I do content with, when you hear a lot of progressives come out and say, well, they don't have a choice but to riot or break into this store, or, well, they're stealing, you know, these electronics or shoes for good reasons, you just don't realize it. I think a lot of people kind of look both ways, and it's a little bit weird that there's such a complex on the left to excuse like every single possible negative behavior from somebody, as long as they're a skin color that you're kind of in charge of protecting.
I find that very offensive.
Yeah.
I find
It's
it
really
extremely, it upsets me to hear that, because we're just like you. We just have a different skin color. And to hear that you have to help me is offensive to me. I can do it on my own.
Well, we have to break down sometimes why these riots happen. You know, MLK once said that riots are the voice of the unheard. So if you are to address the problem and stop the riots, you have to address the underlying inequality that has historically been pervasive. You know, even if you as individual people are doing fine and you don't want anybody else to get in the way of that, that's cool, and I'm not going to be the one to get in the way. But the disparities are undeniable.
So if you take pride in having like a white savior complex, what is it that you think that you're doing to save black people, and what is it that you think that you're saving black people from?
I am trying to make the world a better place
No, you're not. If you want to make the world a better place, shut the fuck up.
through whatever means I can. And
But you're doing it on the backs of us.
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, I
Yes,
actually
you do.
I feel like you want to be a savior for, and you're using me to make yourself feel good. That's what I'm
How am I
hearing.
hurting you?
You're not letting me have my own voice. You're not letting me speak.
How? You're speaking now?
No,
You're cutting her off.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I have to.
Yeah. Well, what's happening? I mean, you're speaking.
How? Okay, I'm starting to come around the idea that he is trolling, because he did say his sister fucked him. Quite literally, I would say, and metaphorically, because I don't understand how. I kind of wish Aiden was here from this, because I guarantee if I'm having this much trouble not swearing, she would be rage-induced and letting fucking fly. Yeah, he admits it. Like, that's the thing that's mind-blowing to me. Like, he admits, like, I feel like I have to, like, bitch, like, your fucking ego is amazing. This guy actually makes Destiny look sane.
Right now, you're speaking right now in this particular setting, but what you're saying is, like, you took it back to riots and so forth, and it makes it seem like the only way that we as black people can have a voice is by riots, and then you need to come along and you need to say, okay, poor little black child, let me help you. That's offensive to me. And I feel like you're making yourself feel good about trying to tame,
Yeah, because he's racist.
help us. And
I also think that, like, when we talk about damage, I think especially when it comes to a lot of the shoplifting stuff that's going on in certain cities, you get a lot of white people that live in nice suburbs saying things like shoplifting is no big deal, that's fine, and then you'll catch YouTube videos of them later on being in a Walgreens in like a shoddy neighborhood, and they're like, man, why is the deodorant behind a locked case? It's very easy to sit behind a gated community and say, oh, well, you know, it's not a big deal, you know, they steal because they have to. Riots are the language of the unheard. I think people haven't read the full context of that quote. When MLK was saying riots were the language of the unheard, and you need to address the underlying condition, he wasn't condoning the rioting, he was just understanding it.
Obviously, there are a bunch of white people that feel they need to be a savior, but I think there's a difference between helping and saving. Like, I don't think I would need to save black people, but I would tremendously love to help, and
help by getting the fuck out of the way and stop treating them like they need to be coddled.
make sure everyone has like equal outcome, or not equal outcome, but at least equal opportunity.
No, say that first part again, because that was a real answer, bitch boy.
Which, in my opinion, I feel we do not have in this country.
Of course we don't, because if you have equal opportunities, the equal outcomes will not exist, because they're polar opposites. You daft git.
This is awkward. Hi, guys. So I didn't step forward just because I don't want to broad brush all white liberals as having a white savior complex.
They do. That is the cliched thing that makes them white liberals.
I have experienced white liberals who do have that, and
My condolences. Would you prefer dating a conservative, my dear?
they're very unpleasant people. But
100% agreed. Half the people on this panel, I'm furious just listening to.
I don't think every single white person who's a liberal or who is an activist for BLM or any of those things necessarily has a white savior complex.
I disagree, by the way. I think they do. Like, literally every single one of them do.
I think that there's a lot of white people who genuinely think that black people are oppressed and they want to help, and that's what they're told.
Because they're stupid as sin and they don't know any better.
What it seems like to me, when most people have savior complex, regardless of whom they're trying to save, it's like they're taking real pain and real trauma and using that as a way to push this political agenda, but also to alleviate themselves of whatever guilt that they feel unnecessarily.
100%,
like, I don't know why
absolutely.
a white person today would feel guilty for things that happened decades ago, let alone something that happened centuries ago.
Probably because if they didn't, they would become incredibly angry and look at the state of society and go, look at what we've had, and look at what it would be, look at what we've allowed to happen when we do not hold the reins of power. And then you will see. There's a quote that I remember. I think it was Who was it? I'm trying to think which content creator. I think it was actually Arch who said this. This was like years ago, who said that as a white people, I apologize for slavery. I apologize for all the injustices, and you should leave us alone now. Organize very quickly. And yeah, that is historically when white people get pissed off in groups, nations get forged, and a lot of shit happens. So maybe don't go down that road.
Never seen a white person say, I personally feel guilty for slavery.
No, but I think the ones that literally rest at black people's feet kissing it are the kind of people that probably would.
Maybe they're out there, but I've never heard that.
Yeah, in second grade, when they taught us about slavery, almost every kid in my classroom would spend their entire time looking at black kids in that classroom. How was I supposed to not think, wow, these people are feeling guilty for something that they have no involvement in and I have no involvement in?
Every kid in my classroom understood the context. So.
No, they didn't.
People hate feeling uncomfortable, and obviously you don't want to feel like the bad guy, and so I feel like it comes from a place of like, oh, well, like, let me make sure that I'm different.
Yes, just don't feel bad. Just feel like you're the conqueror, because you are.
Like, I'm showing you that I want to like help you, but it comes.
Oh God, I've been historically successful, conquering and making worlds. What a horrible group of people we are. We're so terrible as white people, everyone wants to come to our fucking nations. Someone explain to me, how are we horrible, evil people that have done nothing good for the world, yet everyone wants to come and live where we are? Someone want to explain that one to me?
Across, like, I think it can land very poorly.
I'll tell you what, stop it. Stop
Okay.
it. Because what happens is when you put yourself as the white savior, what you do is you elevate yourself above the black person because you feel then like you have to save us. So just stop it. Just treat everybody
Yeah, it's a superiority complex, really.
regular and normal. Just like I would treat you regular and normal, you treat us regular and normal rather than trying to save us.
I just got one thing I wanted to bring up earlier about taxes, because you were saying that you had your job.
That black woman wants to fucking deck that guy in the face. You could just see it in her face. That woman is like 2 seconds away from someone hold my earrings so I can whoop this white boy's ass. I know, because I'm fucking thinking the same thing.
And you were talking about how like you get the tax every time and you're like seeing your tax go up. I worked in nursing homes in 2020 COVID. The last thing that was on my mind when I watched 60 and 70-year-olds on their deathbeds suffocating to death was taxes.
What the fuck does this have to do with anything? What are you even talking about? This is you trying to grandstand here. Like, get the fucking out of here, man.
I was worried about health care. I didn't give a shit about taxes in that time. So when I go to work,
You know, like everyone is looking at this guy going, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, like the chat right now is just like, what the hell are you talking about?
every day. That's what I see. That's what I want to fix.
I see you once again elevating yourself above the rest of us.
Yeah. I like this black woman who just called this jackass out for that crap. What the hell? Yeah. The fucking astonishing how taxes have saved them. This doesn't even make any sense.
And particularly at me, a white man elevating himself above a black person.
He called me a bootlicker.
That's what
he called me a bootlicker.
Oh no, I triggered them all. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Please tell me this guy's gonna get his ass kicked by all these black people. I would very much enjoy seeing that. Someone just throws something at him, because dear God, this man has been insufferable. Oh my good God. I'm in favor of segregation via political lines. How do you guys feel about that? I imagine you guys would think it's pretty basic, because my God, can you imagine being around this person? My God. Who is your sister? Your sister needs to be thrown in jail. I feel like she's a toxic influence.
Oh, I'm not trading. I'm chilling, buddy.
So what I hope comes out
I'm
of this
chilling.
conversation is that we're all Americans, and because we're all Americans,
Yeah, some are bad Americans, though, like the dude sitting next to you, my dear.
we know that America has a bunch of problems, and I think every person here wants to
Yes, white liberalism, it's a toxic plague that needs to be purged from a lot of minds.
solve the problems, and I think everybody is bringing what they have.
Wall them all off into California. How about that?
to the table with their ideas on how to get us to unify. This kind of stuff, right? But you got something in there. Hopefully, I mean, I'm going to give you the benefit.
No, do not ever give any doubts or any benefits of the doubt to white liberals. They are just horrible, scummy people.
Of the doubt that you have something in there that's redeeming about you that would bring all of Americans together. So I hope that we end on the note of American.
UNITY.
I would like to say we're all made in the image of God, and so we're all have our inerrant worth.
Yeah, God did very fine work when he made you, dear.
Just because we're made in his image, and we should treat each other as fellow image bearers, not just by the color of our skin. I mean, as Martin Luther.
In New California. Okay, no, here's the thing. Don't nuke California, because California has prime real estate, and it is actually a pretty place. So what you do is you just need to wall them all off. And that's what you need to do. And you turn into a reality TV show. Right? That's what you're going to tell them. But in reality, it's just a giant surveillance state, and that when they all start calling each other, because they eventually will, because they don't know how to make any food or farms, and and when the whole place goes to hell, more than it already has now, then you can just move in. I mean, you're gonna need a massive cleanup crew because it's gonna look like hell. But once you clean up all the bodies, because there's already a few of them now, and you could just move in and just make California great again, because all of the people that haunted the place are now gone. And that's the way to fix California. It might take some time, but they can't vote and they can't leave the state. That's how I would fix California. Just like a slow drain. It's like basically bleeding out.
King said.
He also did not like capitalism.
I think something that's really challenging, I'm
Capitalism is based, though.
definitely been guilty in the past of throwing around the Uncle Tom word.
I think you probably still do, Destiny.
To be hardcore progressive. I'm still relatively progressive.
Yeah, you're slowly coming back to the right. Things like gun rights, he was pretty pissed. He actually defended Kyle Rittenhouse against Vorsh. Oh my god, that was funny as hell. Vorsh got his ass kicked.
But something that
Joker says we're gonna have tryouts, yeah?
I've learned as time has gone on.
We're gonna have tryouts.
Is
there you
being
go.
a white person isolates you from a lot of the different types of racial struggles that people go through.
No, it doesn't.
And those struggles can take a lot of different forms. Not just, was my ancestor a slave, and not just is my culture bad, but sometimes in the way that, people grow and develop, right? Like, am I actually choosing these political beliefs because they mean something to me, or is it because I'm black or my parents are black?
No, I chose my political beliefs because what I could see was around me is a lot of shit that made no freaking sense. And I wanted to understand why it doesn't make any sense. And then I read old stuff and go, wow, okay, the older stuff makes way more sense than new shit. The new shit is cringe and gay. And the old stuff actually had some sense and reason. Also happens to align with what I currently believe about the world. Mainly involving the x-axis.
If I speak a certain way, am I betraying my race?
That to me is horrifying. If you speak English well, it's a way of the white people. Which you do realize makes white people sound great. Like, you're aware of that, right?
If I am a political orientation, am I a bootlicker? And I think that it's important when you're coming
I don't know how that makes you a bootlegger. Right?
From a progressive point of view, to understand that even though there are conservatives that are black people, you have to treat them as individuals and not just come at it with this, like, you're black, you're a conservative, therefore here's like 6 or 7 different slurs that I can use against you, but they're approved because I happen to be on the progressive side.
I feel like if I were to watch this again, the white dude would somehow make me angrier. Because I feel like I would vibe with Aiden's energy, and I can already tell Aiden would freak the fuck out. I can already tell Aiden would get so annoyed watching this. It's only because it's late in the evening and I don't want to yell and get like furiously enraged, because I'd like to sleep not pissed off. I'm gonna try and do that now. Because even me, I'm like, the arrogance, the condescending arrogance of this fat ass white boy is irking the shit out of me. Centrism in a nutshell, yeah. This thumbnail. What you mean? Oh, sorry. You mean the one. It's funny because the black conservative looks Asian for some bizarre reason, and Destiny just looks bored and kind of annoyed that he's there. Oh god. I feel like would you guys not get bored if we watch this again with Aiden? Yeah, I feel like Aiden would. Yeah, you can generally tell when Aiden is annoyed because this is something that Aiden does when she gets annoyed. It's either she goes like full on rambling mode instantaneously, or she pauses it and there's like a 2 or 3 second pause, and then she will say something in a lower pitched voice, and I kind of slowly, as if she's basically belittling you in a sort of teacher way. That is something that she would do, though. Aiden has a few takes like that. That's one of them. Oh, thanks, Eldegusto, you fucking asshole. No. I get the impression that that white guy is probably what he's like in real life. An insufferable, arrogant twat. I was right though, it was a woman who fucked him up. I just didn't think it would be his sister. Panning us like Mama Aiden. For God's sake. Okay, I shouldn't take that too seriously, but bloody hell. Poor Aiden. She's in the chat, I think, isn't she? Let me see. Yeah, she is still in the chat. I don't know what she's heard. Yeah, I basically saw 2 or 3 clips from it. Cameraman, that's why I wanted to watch it. I had no idea what we were getting into. I don't like the curly head lady because of her skin color. I liked it because she had based opinions. You know? Aiden isn't here. She's in the UK. Yeah, it would have been better without the cuts. You can tell there was a lot of like really, really hard freaking cuts in this. But like I said, this thing takes place over like 5 hours. So when it's like hard cuts like that, I think one of the guys, one of the guys who was on this, not the guy with the hoodie, the guy with the red shirt, the black conservative, he said that like all the spicy stuff about BLM, they cut. I wonder why. Probably because they got their asses kicked. The white liberals. I mean, for God's sakes, they got their asses kicked right now, so... I think his head is freakishly big. It looks fairly normal. The Pentagon wants to affirm your gender transition, but not if you're avoiding the draft. Okay, I wonder why. Oh, fucking hell. That's all I had planned for today. Okay, it's past midnight already. Unless there's something else I have to discuss. You guys have like 5 minutes to say random shit that I might pay attention to. So if you have anything you want to know, feel free to ask. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. All the producers would force the Antifa up to 5 bomb their places. Yeah, that's probably a good one. Status affects sleep. Yeah, I'm not actually that tired. It's because Aiden talks more than I do. That'll be the reason why for that. Would you talk to Drax if we can convince him as a guest? I don't. I'll speak to anybody. I'm not that bothered. Fucking hell. Why do I not like making Asian sex noises? Because I'm not V, is the reason for that. Why do so many people think my accent is British? Because the Americans think any accent that isn't English outside of America is instantly English. I think if I would have spoken an Afrikaans accent, they would still think I'm some demented English person. Did you hear about Obama's gay lover? Yes, I did. I see that Tucker was interviewing the guy who apparently he was messing around with. It's not Asian sex noise. Can a monarchy exist without the church, or are they linked? Congrats on the 10K Cups. That is something that a lot of people have an issue with, because they think there needs to be some cultural unification thing. Because if it's capitalism is materialism, and it lacks the moral aspect that the church brings. And so I think the answer is no. I think for a monarchy to work, you need religion. And I also think for a republic to work, you need religion, because like the idea of the separation of church and state it doesn't work. You need a unification of church and state. You need something that holds your politicians morally accountable. And it's not a fucking free for all. Because that way it evidently doesn't work. I know Mulbach thinks it does, but it's one of the things that I'm slightly, I'm gonna disagree with him on that. I remember somebody asked him, like, do you think a state needs a unified religion? And he went like, I don't know. No, I think they do. I could talk non-stop about the McLaren F1 and why it's the greatest car in the world. Not at midnight I can't. But start with the German V12 engine and a completely carbon fiber body. That's probably a good one. And the fact that it can do 100 kilometers an hour in 3.2 seconds. And this was in the 1990s. And the fact that it held that for 15 years before the Bugatti Veyron came on. And even that, its engine is enhanced. With unusual things that the McLaren did not have. I think it's like a natural... Oh, there's a fucking phrase that I'm looking for now that I can't remember. Yeah, you do need religion for cohesion. People say that you don't, and you can society can't be secular. Secularism just makes the religion out of atheism, and then logic and rationality does not make for a civilization, because people are not rational or logical by default. Did I ever watch Top Gear? It's like asking me, did I ever use the bathroom? Yes, of course. I've seen probably far too much of Top Gear. Naturally aspirated, thank you, Kizza. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, sorry, it's past midnight. My brain is not currently thinking. But yes, that's the phrase that I was looking for. I think the first time I saw the McLaren F1 was in a friend of mine had a Guinness Book of World Records in 1997, and I saw the car and I was like, I don't know what this car is, but I instantly fell in love with it. It's because it looked mean. It just looked like it could move like no one's business. And for that reason, I liked it. Same reason I like the XJ220. Just because it looked like a supreme car. Yeah, agnostic and atheist founders understood religion was helpful for the common. It's funny you say that because even V, who is an atheist, even he says that, yeah, Christianity makes good moral foundations for a society. Yeah, because it does. Like, ultimately, I think is you need that aspect of you are leaving the world for a next generation, and you will see your ancestors again, and you need to create something that will honor them. Because if you don't, people just live for the moment, and people who live for the moment never make anything impressive. It's just shit. You can see that in our society now. We live in a very, very high time preference society, and my God, it's fucking shit. You can see it in our architecture. You can see it in the way we produce shit. Like everything is just disposable and quick, and it's cheap and new. And I hate it. It's shitty, man. You should have a place where you prefer have a place where you can have higher, lower time preference. Sorry, because it's better. You need the balance of both, especially in the state. Otherwise, fucking crap. Yeah, fucking hell. Give me a second. Let me look at this quick. Interesting. Low time preference, yes. Kids, it's too late to play that. Fucking 10 o'clock in the bloody evening. 10 o'clock in the evening, what am I saying? Midnight. My brain is clearly not working very well. Yeah, monarchy is a biblical construct. And then again, so was America's republic. You know when someone sends me a message with the phrase chimp out shit show? Like, yeah, I can't probably show it on screen. Last time I checked, South Africa is Dutch. I think it really went down. The art went downstream after the Great Depression, because then Art Deco started to get kind of cheapish. Because like if you see Art Deco before, like before the 1930s collapse, when it was like the Roaring Twenties, like there you could see America's art, because it comes from the French Art Deco. This was a Paris art exhibition, and that's where Art Deco came from. And you could see it like in America's structure, like it looks amazing. And then past the, it lost its sort of lack of ostentatiousness. It wasn't as grand, and it was kind of more mass manufacturing. It was like, yeah, not a fan. I like some modern architecture. I like the simplicity of it. I'm not gonna lie, but it does lack that wow factor that that Art Deco did. Yeah, Bioshock is full of Art Deco. We should really make a Rapture and make the place full of Art Deco. Wish I could decorate my room in Art Deco. All kinds of weather. It's a very aggressively male-looking style of architecture. It's very sharp edges and everything is geometric, which appeals to my my masculine base. I'm not a fan of Art Nouveau because it looks very smooth. It's very smooth and bendy. I don't like things that are smooth and bendy. I prefer things that are hard and jagged and look aggressive. Also, it looks French, which is ironic because Art Deco also comes from France. Yeah, I agree with that, because the post-depression gave rise to brutalism. Like, communism really gave rise to brutalism. And postmodernism architecture and classically superior, yes, absolutely agreed. Yeah, people should really take up sculpting and rebuild shit in the old ways. It looks better. Yeah, you can't have equality without same. This is why equality is shit. You don't build a society based on equality. You never get anything decent out of it. Only people that build stuff that's made to be superior are the ones that build anything decent. Yeah, I will agree the great rupture was in the 1930s. But yes, I will bid you a good evening. And thank you all for turning up while I ramble like a fucking madman. Technically speaking, I could probably do more live streams on my own. Because I have the code for this. I have the code for this account. Now. Could I do more live streams and talk shit? I'll see what Aiden says. I have to ask permission because we share this account. And we have to be equal and all that gay shit. But yes, if more people like this, then I will do more live streams on my own. Next time I'll have a topic in mind that isn't gonna make me say the phrase dumbass every 30 seconds when a white guy opens his fucking mouth. Well, here's hoping anyway. Yeah, do more random streams. I'll see if people want me to do more random streams, then I will do more random streams. But anyway, yes, cheers for all the donations, and oh, fuck off. Aiden wouldn't damn well do a damn thing if I told her not to. I haven't done anything to Aiden. Planes did things to Aiden. They pulled her onto them and then sent her to England for a couple of days. No, Aiden is not like normal women. I will give her that. In many ways, she's dorkier. Although she has more logic than most guys do. On some things. Other things that I do kind of want to lightly smack her in the back of the head. Yeah. My promises I can't keep. No, I never make promises I can't keep. And yes, if people want me to do this stream again with Aiden here, then yeah, we can do that. But, yes, Patricia's, yes. I was speaking well of the Germans earlier. Where were you? Yeah, no, Bill will protect her. Or hit her over the head with a mace. I don't fucking know these days. Or she can fly away being a bird person and all. Yeah. Yeah, we have a good dynamic. But anyway, yes. I will see you guys I will see you guys tomorrow. I have 2 or 3 videos planned for tomorrow. One of them is a video I'll end it with this too. I kind of want to go over just some black guy because his response to the whole ass thing was hilariously fucking dumb and I have to make fun of it. It's rather funny. I was looking at earlier I did a video just some guy and now it's some black guy. And both are black. Kind of a theme that I'm noticing here. And the other one is, I saw an article a couple of days ago, Ask Limited Guide, because I shared this with him. It was the most bizarre article that I've read in years, because it was a lefty that accurately points out all the reasons why the left is shit, but still wants to stick with it, even though he's constantly, or she is constantly pointing out why it's terrible. And it's like watching someone realize they're in a cult, but still try to make it work, but also why the cult is shit. And it's like a ping pong back and forth. It's like, this person is either schizophrenic or insane. It's like a schizophrenic bipolar personality disorder, the multiple personality disorder. It's fucking weird. The article is hopelessly long, so I can't do it on everything they've said, but I just read most of it, and even I went, this person is going to end up in a padded cell, in a mental asylum with a straitjacket. It is inevitable, because you can't have this many contradictory opinions in your head without losing your mind. Like, it's just not possible. There's a reason why these people all go fucking crazy. But anyway, yes, cheers for all the donations, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care now.